Right, leggies. I clicked the Streameruniente button. I hope you all had very good, happy Halloweens. I know I did. I'm actually still trying to dust off the cobwebs from a very, very eventful Halloween weekend in Dubai. How was your freaking Halloween, mate? You still got the costume on?
Yeah, it was good actually.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah.
got set about by a couple of nuns, and I saw a lot of vampires and stuff
What about
about.
any
It was
clerics?
no clerics. It was a good
Warlocks?
weekend though. I
What
love
about?
Halloween's actually my favorite one out of all of them. I think
So what's the costume all about then?
my costume. I actually didn't even have a good one this year. I did a really good one a couple of years ago.
I can tell. Wearing it right now. Um, so right, we're gonna jump into all this shit. All right, leggies. And here's all the Discord we got going. Guys, full market update. So what we're going to do in these videos is I'm going to go through Bitcoin, the stock market, indices, equities, commodities. So we're going to do all the stuff at the beginning of the video. We're also going to have Pete in the backers. Are we live anyway, bro?
Oh, well, I'm winking at you.
Let me have a look. Give me a wink. You just closed both your eyes.
Yeah, I wink. Yeah, we're
Can you
live.
not wink, motherfucker?
Yeah, I can look.
Got. Yeah, good work. That was sexy as
There you
well.
go.
You're looking really good there today, actually, as well. Again, I'm getting quite emotional about it.
All right.
Right. Let's move on real swiftly before I get a rod on thinking about you. Whoa, okay. Listen, legends, we'll start with Bitcoin. And then we'll go into the stock market. Then we'll go into indices and equities and gold and all this kind of shindigs. Yeah, everyone in the chat, what's crack-a-lack and what's going on? We're just going to dive into it. So, guys, Bitcoin is actually having a little bit of a downside move at the moment. Now, I can't really remember what I said last week, but a few weeks ago, I definitely remember saying that I do think we're going to have a move up towards the 786. We didn't actually get the 786. We got the 618 Fibonacci retracement back up, which was just above the prior swing. You know what it's like. We didn't really get much of a result. I would like to have seen it come a little bit more, then back down for the higher low, and then bada bing, bada bong. This does cause a little bit of it's a cause to concern to a degree, but I'll tell you why it's not. Everyone's freaking out right now. Long to short is actually very long, but what I'm using this indicator more and more. Okay, the way I'm looking at it, just to make it really simple, is if longs are falling and shorts are rising in general, that actually is a signal in itself to say potentially anyone who was in longs is now coming out of those positions underwater, coming out, and then shorts are stacking. Because you've got to remember, guys, that just because the long to short ratio is either long or short on pitted more on either side, it doesn't mean that there's still no shorts or no longs on the other side, which isn't the majority. So even if it's falling or rising, that can indicate actually the price is going to move in the opposite direction to longs in this specific example. Now, we did almost get the cross. I would say the only real reason, if you're going to look at this indicator, guys, you've got two levels to look at. If the longs begin to start falling and the shorts begin to start rising, that could be it for a bottom. And I actually would say, even now, I know everyone's going crazy on Bitcoin at this very specific point, I would still say the probability of Bitcoin continuing up is still higher. When we lose the low wick, and there's three levels, we've actually lost this one here. Local swing low, then we're going on a higher time frame swing low, and then actually that's really important, that wick. If we lose that decisively, we're probably going down actually quite significantly. But, sorry, legend, my throat is mashed from the big Halloween weekend. I actually did get on it pretty hardcore on the old booze, aruniente, and the vapes and ciggies. Now, yeah, so it's not great, but I would say that it's not the end of the world, because I do still see on the higher time frames, we're above the 200-day, we're above systemic structure, and everything's looking in terms of higher time frame fine. It is a little bit of a shot across the bow, considering we did make a slight high here. Now, actually, we're going to be losing some of these levels. If we lose the wick, I do think it's quite a significant drop, guys. And I did have a trade set up I put in my group here. It was a box here. I was like, I'm going to take a long. We did get something off it, but it's looking quite weak. So this wick, guys, if we lose it decisively, let's flick out to a higher time frame. So all of these tabs I have up are just essentially higher and higher time frames. So you have hourly. Now we're on the 4-hour. This will be the daily. You can see how. Oh, sorry, this is weekly now, actually. And then this will actually be a weekly, but on a logarithmic. So it interchanges. So in terms of 4-hour, guys, I would say that really, if we do lose this wick, we're probably going to come into the mid-range of the prior area. Let me just have a good look. Yeah, 92. Obviously, guys, we know 74 is like the ultimate level. If we lose 74, it's very likely we're actually going into a bear market. We are actually below the 200-day moving average now. The 200-day moving average is aiming up, which is still a signal in itself, but we are below the 200-day moving average. It's more significant if the 200-day moving average is actually facing down. So if you're facing down and it's aiming down and then the price goes below it, that actually could be a signal that's going to act as resistance on the way down. In this case, we're still going up, so it's not the worst case scenario for the bulls in this case. But 200 days moving up, we have lost it right now, so that's another factor. We haven't broken this wick. We're above the mid range, and we're above 74k. So I would say that there's one thing in the things you look at in terms of, are we going to start a bear market, that tick the box now. In terms of volume, guys, we're still not there. We still need to see that massive red shot of volume for me to say, okay, potentially it might be the beginning of a bear market. We got one here with this big. Anyway, we know that my analysis, what we're looking at, we want to see some sort of huge area of dominant sell pressure on higher time frame volume. We actually got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was about 5 weeks of just dominant sell pressure, which actually then resulted in the price of Bitcoin falling quite significantly. We actually end up going down to 15k. So we haven't got anything like that yet, guys. There's no real indication here that the sellers are beginning to step in. You know, even at these high levels, we haven't got anything here. We actually haven't even got increasing. Like, the volume is not even at levels we've been in prior cycles. Every cycle, actually. Even going back all the way here, we had more volume. You know, it's usually, guys, it's not always, this is not 100%, you know, written in stone, but usually the market in volume is like a crescendo. It like builds up and builds up and builds up, has its big explosion of volume, and then it tapers off to the bear market. Haven't really seen that much in this market cycle, guys, at all yet. It's been quite slow, sideways, slow, sideways, slow, sideways. So it would be surprising for this to be the macro top, just in consideration that markets like to have a blow-off top, which is a crescendo of volume. And we haven't got a big sell node every single time we've had a big sell node. That's resulted in the bear market. Sell node, it's not happened just yet. So I'd say, out of the two things I look at, 200-day moving average is broken, systemic structure is fine, and volume is fine. So we're not in a bear market. Let's just say that. But we could be getting closer if we do lose this significantly. And this would be a scenario for Bitcoin that I would look at. The 200-day moving average will do something like this. If we come down into the mid-range in 74 and fanny around, we could then end up use this, you know, that could be what we're looking at. I would just say it's more unlikely, but really 74k is like the line in the sand. If we break 74k and there's a decisive weekly close or a daily, it's very likely, guys, but this is a bear market. We're going to go into a significant bear market. But as of this point right now, you can't state that. And anyone who's saying we're in a bear market now is just chatting absolute breeze. They're not using any defined, you know, variants to say what is actually a bear market or a bull market in their mind. And those types of people you want to stay away from, because essentially they're just guessing or gambling. And you don't want to get into those fucking woods, because you will end up losing all your cashish. Your cheddar chonk cheese will be gone. So it is a little bit of a cause concern losing here, but we're still above the wick. So I would say, guys, on the balance of probabilities, the balance of probability that it's probably more likely that we do continue up, looking at all the things I'm looking at as of right now on these charts. We can go into the long to short ratio isn't exactly on our side. There are more longs, so it could go lower. But even if longs begin to fall with shorts rising, that can be an indication in itself. The two things you want to look at is which way are the longs and shorts, the direction of those two things, and then obviously the crosses. The crosses are the most significant signal that this indicator can give you, but we haven't had any crosses for a while, and obviously no indicator is always going to give you what you want. So the crosses are obviously, we already know that, I've spoken about this a million times on my channel. When you get a cross, that's a definite point to look, and there'll probably be a change in direction. If there is no cross, it's just which way are they actually aiming, whether it's towards each other or away from each other. And this indicator, guys, is available at mdxalgo.com. We have Botmaster coming, legends, for Black Friday, but we won't do that yet because it's a little bit too far in the future to talk about Black Friday. My hair, legends, is long as. Do you like my haircut, Pete? Come on, let's get a joke. Come on. Come on.
I actually can't see it. Because you're not showing on my screen. You need to enable your camera. I'm sure it's. But last time I saw your hair, I thought it was fine, mate. You let it get a little bit long sometimes, though, bro.
Yeah, a little bit flamboyant.
Yeah, a little bit flippy. You know what I'm saying?
All right, bro. Thanks for the moral support. I need it today. It's been a heavy weekend.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, looks sick, brother. So yeah, that's what we're saying here, man. But yeah, long to short, guys, is available at MDX Algo. We have a lot with the Botmaster coming, which is a very big feature which we're going to be releasing, and it's going to be pretty epic. Anyway. So that's Bitcoin. Yeah, that's in a nutshell. In terms of trades, though, I would probably take a buy on the wick low. 92, very likely take a buy trade. 74, definitely take a buy trade. So those are the bounce trades on the way down. And that's what most of you want to care about anyway, or you do care about. Ethereum, guys, I said from the fucking beginning of time, I do think You know, even when we were down here, I was saying I think we go up towards the all-time high. I actually didn't think we were going to break it decisively. We did. We actually did break the all-time high. Well, not the all-time high. The all-time high of this cycle. I did say multiple times that it could pop above it briefly and come back, and that's actually what we've got. But, you know, it's a 618 quite likely on ETH. And if we do see that, Bitcoin could be falling as well. So ETH's likely going to come back down around that 618. I was saying it's going to do something like this for a prolonged period of time. When Bitcoin actually tops, I do think then if Ethereum has its breakout, and that's when we're going to get the altcoin season. And everyone is like, yeah, alt season for years and years and years. It's the alt season is going to happen when Bitcoin tops for the very, very significant top. And at the moment, guys, I'm not seeing that. There's not an alt season. There hasn't been an alt season for a long time. It's a trickle-down effect. Bitcoin, like I said a million times, is the highest pair. It has the highest connections into the industry. So US dollars coming in, the highest liquidity pair is Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin always goes first, and then it trickles down the system. High caps, medium caps, small caps, micros, and then the fucking meme shitties will start popping here and there. Yeah, guys, I said in our last video, stock market, I was actually calling for a continuation because that's all you can do with the stock market. It's long until proven otherwise, until you break systemic structure. No break here, continuation. I think the stock market will continue to do this. We had a rate cut as well, which is quite interesting. You know, there are about the last 3 times we've had significant rate cuts. We've had a crash in the stock market. That is potentially what could happen again, but I'm not going to just bet on that now. We've got no break of structure. Above the 200-day, structure's all fine. We're above every high and high, very low. High highs, high lows, everything's going up. What you really want to do with the stock market, a billion times I've said it, is wait for the break, see the retest, and then you'll do a Fibonacci on it, and you'll short the retest of the high. And literally every single fucking time you get that on the stock market, that's essentially what we see. So a good example would be massive rally up, break of systemic structure, there's your retest short, and that's actually going to be quite likely the 618 or 786, probably 786 on this. Yeah, between the 618 and 786, that's where you would get your head short in. And that's as simple as that with the stock market. Don't make it any more difficult. Just put up an indicator like Algo Master, long until proven otherwise, because it will always beat inflation 8% up, and then just short the retest and get stopped out. Go long and then get stopped out on the stock market. So be right as it goes up and then get stopped out when your position is wrong. And then by the time you get there, you've made so much money anyway, the stop loss doesn't matter. So fucking hell, said that a few times. Nike, I got an investment in it, all good. Nvidia, wow, I can't believe it's just continuing to fucking moonship. I saw a video of this dude. I actually don't know his name specifically, the Nvidia founder. I know he looks like a freaking absolute tech wizard, Asian. But I saw a video of him. He's an absolute rock star now. Like, he's just turned into an absolute. You know the guy I'm talking about, DP. He literally is just going around the world with like thousands of people.
Wang.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a legend.
He's just a fucking rock star now. He's just turned into like a similar Elon Musk style personal brand, and that's very good for companies when you become a personal brand. I was actually talking to a few fucking people about this earlier, about how, you know, the way the world's going is you build a following on social media first, and then you ask your following what they want, and then you build a product to service their needs. That's actually so different to what it's been in history. It's usually been you go and raise money, you go to Silicon Valley, you do a fucking massive seed, you do a huge amount of raising, loads of different rounds, and then you build a product, which is really, really good, and then you go to market and market it to your following. It's just role reverse now. And now you're seeing, I would say pretty much 50-50. It's got to be a good product with a good personal brand behind it in terms of the founder, for instance. And that's how companies are really going. And actually, a lot of people just, they start the following first. They're essentially doing the marketing first, build the following on social media, build the product to service the customers or the following you have, which is crazy. Gold, guys, we've been talking about this many, many times. Absolute moonshot on the normal, let's just call it nominated US dollar chart. The price is very, very high. We know, guys, that I've been calling for a long time in the inflation adjusted charts that I do think gold's going to have its first cyclical bear move, or let's just say it's going to go down when it hits here. That's literally exactly what's happened. It's literally, guys, gone to where I said this. I said this years ago. Inflation adjusted 2011. I think this is when we get resistance, and we see a huge wick, which is actually a pretty decent sign that you could be looking at a top. If you look at any top, you've got a fucking great wick at the top of it, and that's just because the price went up very quickly and then down very quickly, and that's the crescendo of volume. So it's actually potentially this could be the macro long-term top. I'm not going to say it now like it's defined or definite because there's no structure or there's no confirmation of that. I actually do think gold's going to probably end up doing something, like I said on my prior stream, where it actually retests the high, and then bottles over probably a year or longer. It's probably going to take a year or longer for gold to actually top. So to say it's top now is stupid, because gold will probably end up retesting that many, many times, just like here, just like everywhere else, okay? But yeah, this is the inflation adjusted. This is gold, and then you're doing it divided by the M2 SL money supply. So this is the money to stock. This is the amount of money in the circulation of the world, or let's just say in the US dollar system, taking the price and essentially making inflation adjusted by the amount of circulating currency US dollars in the system. But yeah, I've said it a billion times. The price is going crazy, but the value is only at the same of 2011. So we're not the value of gold is not higher than 2011, which will most people will be like, okay, well that's weird. But yeah, no, $4,000 is and also I've said I think it could go to 5. I think 5,000 will really cap it though. It's a psychological middle number, obviously between 10k. So I'd say like that 5k, I think would really cap it. If it goes any higher than that, fair fucking play to gold. And there's probably other problems, and also people are looking for alternatives. And eventually, one day, we will see a fiat currency collapse. So, like, you know, the price of gold and Bitcoin and anything which has a hard or fixed supply will go to millions and millions and millions. Like, there will be no amount of dollars you'll ever swap for gold, because the dollars don't buy you anything. So the bidding war will go to trillions of dollars for 1 ounce of gold, because no one will be prepared to swap anything for it. Eventually, that will happen, and every fiat currency, every government-backed fiat currency or currency that is not linked or tied to a fixed or scarce supply asset have always failed. It's been like 350 fiat currencies in human history. They've all failed. The longest standing one is the Great British Pound, which is actually the average. I think I've said this years ago. The average lifespan of a fiat currency is around 16 years on average. The United Kingdom, from the Bank of England, have done a pretty good job. I think they're probably about 150 odd. And that actually did transition from a gold-backed pound to a non. So yeah, anyway, but yeah, gold's looking pretty good. And then we have BTC and gold together. I'd actually probably say, I've said this for a while, it's probably quite a good time actually to get out of gold and probably look at alternatives. Potentially BTC, looking at this chart, it's come down quite significantly. Doesn't mean it can't go lower though. If you see, like, let's say, you see this chart, and I won't even tell you exactly how it operates or how it works. If you see this chart going down here, that's when you want to be basically turning all of your gold into Bitcoin, because this is a Bitcoin to gold chart. Silver guys having its moonshot. It's actually pretty fucking nice. Any of you silver guys who managed to sort of cycle into silver's done really, really well. And I do think silver will have a measured move of this. Very similar to, you see, gold has eclipsed its prior all-time high by double. A little bit more than that, actually. But silver will likely do the same. But it will happen when gold tops. Very similar to how when Bitcoin tops, then altcoins pop. Very similar scenario there, okay? And that's just my prediction on that. But yeah, that's kind of like really it, legends. Like, the stock market's kind of doing its thing. It's nothing really to report in terms of SPX. It's literally just long until proven otherwise. You continuously go long until you get stopped out on your stop losses. That's why you get these moves so sharp, because everyone's getting stopped out and liquidated. But you don't bet against it. You continue to go up. We can get the inflation adjusted chart actually of SPX as well. I'll just put that up actually. Let's see if we can just get it straight away. No, not this. Let me just bring it up on this then. Let's have a look if we can see it. It's M2SL. Let's have a look what we get. So inflation adjusted on the stock market is not any higher than 2000. So this would be after .com. It's around .com. So you have the .com bubble was here actually. No, sorry, this is the 2008 Great Recession. This was the .com bubble. So if you're looking at the stock market in inflation adjusted terms to the amount of currency created via M2, which is the money stock liquid supply of US dollars, so just increased circulating supply, the stock market today is still not above the .com bubble. We do know that the .com bubble was one of the biggest bubbles ever in our history in the stock market, but a lot of people would think, and I've said this many, many times, that, oh, the stock market is, look at the fucking stock market on the monthly. Look at it. It's like you think you're getting rich. And actually, it is we are getting to the top of the .com bubble. But everyone would think that the value is going up. Everyone's getting rich and all these, the numbers getting bigger. Yes, it is, but actually the purchasing power, or let's just say the inflation-adjusted price of the stock market, which is SPX or SP500 or whatever, or SPY, depending on if you're using an ETF or you're just going through CFDs. Look, it's this is .com bubble. That's where we are. In the same way that I've been talking about gold and the 2011 high being the top for gold on the price chart of denominated US dollars to gold in relation to the inflation adjusted, I would probably guess that that's what's going to happen here. The stock market's probably going to get to the .com levels of value, and then we're likely going to see the bear market. And guys, after .com, look at that. Like, look, that is absolutely a phenomenal chart, guys. So like this bull market here, okay, was after .com bubble into the 2008 recession. The 2008 recession really took the value of the stock market down. And a lot of people argue and say that the Great Recession was the beginning of the collapse of the traditional financial system, which we would call the Bretton Woods, or let's call it the US dollar standard, or the end of fiat currency actually as a whole. Because in this period, they printed more currency in 90 days than the Fed had done in 90 years. In 90 days, more currency created than the Fed had done in 90 years. So this here, a lot of people would argue, was the beginning of the end of, let's say, the fiat currency system, which is not backed by anything. And then if you look at this, so this is the .com bubble, then you have the big crash of the .com crash, then you have the bull market up to 2008. But look at the fucking difference on what it looks like on a price chart. This was, let me get it right, .com, massive rally into it, nuke, then the price went to the same. Before the 2008 recession, the price went to the same as the rally in the 2000s. Actually, not .com, the rally in the 2000s. I need to get that right. So you guys have got to realize that the price had rallied to a high, massive bear market. The 2008 recession took it to the same price, but we know from inflation adjusted that the value was completely different. So massive rally, the value never ever got to the same. The price did, but the value didn't. And this is like the key thing you need to understand when it comes to just trading and investing in general. Actually, I would say this is more important for investors, because trading, it doesn't really matter about actually the value. It really doesn't. If you're lower time frame trading, all that matters is the price. How much does it go up and how much does it go down in a percentage term? If you're trading intraday or you're doing week or swings, the actual value of shit becomes much more important as you rise up the ladder. Yeah, just leave it outside the door. Someone knocking on my door. Like, did you hear it?
No, I didn't hear nothing.
Yeah, I got knocked on. Anyway, it's more significant. The value of shit. One sec, bro. He's banging on it.
It's been ordering spaghetti bolognese.
Right, the guy just wouldn't stop. It was about to knock it again. It's like rough. Anyway, I was saying,
was that the spag bowl?
Yeah, no, it's I've got yeah, you know what it is. Marble, Wagyu, silver fern steak. Wagyu steak tonight. I've actually been eating, guys, I've been eating 5 organic grass-fed Wagyu steaks, and then 2 days I eat liver. I'm taking it to the next level. Okay, if you type this into ChatGPT, all of you type this into ChatGPT right now. ChatGPT, you could only choose one food. You can only choose one food that has the highest nutritional density out of any food that I can eat. What food do you choose? Put that into ChatGPT right now. You will get grass-fed beef liver. The highest nutritional density of any food. You can only choose one food. What is it? It will say grass-fed beef liver. Anyway, where was I with this crap? Yeah, when you go on higher time frames, the value is more important. But trading, if it goes up and goes down, you can make money. With investing, you really need to understand the difference between price and value. Because if you don't, you're just essentially you don't even know what you're doing. If you don't know the difference between price and value, if you made money, it was just luck.
Oh, so, someone said it was the tax man knocking on your door.
Now my name is Max. I don't pay tax. I just relax and count my stacks, motherfucker. Yeah, the tax man's knocking.
They don't knock when they come.
No, they don't knock. They knock the fucking door down. Especially with me, it's a big fucking tax bill. The bigger the device they use to knock your dog down. Your dog? The bigger the device they use to knock your door down is the bigger the tax bill you need to pay.
The bigger the back, the bigger the crack.
The bigger the black, the bigger the crack, and bigger the tax, the bigger the bonger. What? Right, but I'm saying, yeah, when it comes to price and value, guys, we're not even at. We're getting there. We're getting there, guys. 1999, 2000. It's actually the 2000 rally. .com was actually before. So I'm trying to make the point here that yeah, we're at the same level of purchasing power than we were in 2000. So yeah, we got some time, guys. I think actually it could get. We've probably got another. This is a long time to like project to get to the top. But I think we're getting close, guys. We probably are getting to the close for a stock market high. You know, we probably are getting close. Anyway, that's all that out the bloody way.
It's not out of the way, brother.
Peter.
Let's look at some coins.
Nah.
yeah.
Coins.
I want to check some coins out.
Which coin?
Some charts, some coins. So we look at, let me share my screen with you as well. I reckon we should check this one out first of all.
Yeah, let's get that face of yours off the screen.
CZ has just tweeted out something, and it did seem a little bit out of character for him.
Binance founder Cheng Peng Chao reveals 2.5 million Aster token purchase. Well, that's fine. Like that's fine, bro.
Look at his tweet.
Okay.
He doesn't normally do tweets like that.
Okay.
I can't remember him doing.
On Binance's spot market, intending to hold them for long term, like his early BNB investment. The disclosure led to initial 20 to 35. I saw it though. You can look at Aster on the chart. Like it did do that. I have an investment in Aster, by the way. Full disclaimer. I've invested in it as well. And I invested in it, I think, just before it launched on Bybit. Anyway, let me fucking find the token, sirs.
Yeah, he only tweeted this yesterday.
Yeah, no, look at the Aster chart. So you can go on Binance and look at it. Whoa, that was a bit... It's have to go on a lower time frame chart, obviously. But that was the move. Which was pretty significant. CZ Binance coming out and saying hello. Yeah, about 60% pump in one message. But I actually do think, guys, yeah, I agree with CZ, you know, on this one. I do think it's going to go to $30, maybe $40. Because Aster, in comparison to Hyperliquid, which doesn't have hidden orders, etc., which is a great exchange, by the way. I'm not battering down on Hyperliquid. Wow, MDX Live shit must be serious. Yes,
everyone's scared about the move today.
Yeah, well, you know, they're faggots, aren't they? But like, let's just call everybody faggots. If you're scared about a price move, you need to get a fucking grip. Listen, it's a long-term investment. You buy it, you hold it. I think that Hyperliquid is a good project. I think it's a great exchange. I think it was the pioneer of DEXs. And guys, I am the guy. There is no one in this crypto fucking jerk circle who was talking about decentralized exchanges before me. Because I used to trade the RAM market on EOS, which was the first AMM platform and protocol ever. Okay, so I literally know about fucking DEXs. I know about this game. It's coming, and it will change everything, not just in crypto. It will change the whole entire trading ecosystem, because you don't need to have market makers. You have automated market makers, and everyone can get a small portion of the fee instead of the market makers themselves. It's centralization versus decentralization. It's decentralizing market making, and also even with dark liquidity pools and all of the systems that they use in traditional stock markets, they can all go away. You have better liquidity, less slippage. The whole thing is better. It's like saying the internet is better at moving around information than newspapers. It's literally that big. It's that big. It's the difference between newspapers and the internet to move information around. That's how big DEXs are. And Hyperliquid did a great job, but it has limitations. So even if Hyperliquid continues to do what it's going to do and be a big exchange, they're making more money than the NASDAQ right now. Great. But I'm saying, yeah, Aster at the $1 coin, which is around, I think it's probably about $1 billion or so market cap. I think, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. You can probably grab them up. But I think Hyperliquid's at like 30 billion. So by my calculation, yeah, it could easily be at the same level as Hyperliquid within 5 years or less. Actually, this is crypto. Let's jump back to crypto. Probably about 5 fucking months. Let me quickly bring on the market cap of Aster. So it was on the top of my head. So I think it's around 40 or some shit. Where is it? Has it gone up or down? I think it's maybe gone down, hasn't it? Because it's been nuking. Where's Aster? What we at, boys and girls? Trezor, SPX. I can't see it. I want to get it in relation to all the other coins. I'll just have to type it in. So Aster, young squires. Yeah, literally, I fucking said it. $2 billion market cap. It's at $1.94 billion market cap. So it's bang on the money. 2 billion. Hyperliquid is at, right now, we're looking at a 13 billion. So it's a 10x, basically, well, a little bit less than a 10x actually. Straight to get to Hyperliquid. So it's at $1 now, $10. I think Binance CZ said $30 to $40. We can see it has hidden orders as well, so it's better for it's bigger for bigger players. What did CZ say then? He said, okay. And okay, skepticism over potential market influence on-chain indicating long to short positions. So what are people outraged? They're outraged about him buying it on his own exchange, or they're outraged about his prediction for it to go up?
No one's outraged. Just he doesn't tweet that he's bought a coin with his own money like that often. It's pretty rare.
But you do know, obviously, like everyone knows that Aster is built by Binance, though. So it's his project. He talks about fucking Binance the whole time. Binance Coin, BNB, Smart Chain. So to me, this isn't really anything mental. Of course, he's gonna be like, I bought my own fucking company. Aster is owned by Binance, obviously. It's the, let's call it the, crypto.com. They have the crypto.com chain, and they have CRO, and they used to have another token which they got rid of, but it's kind of their example, their answer to that. You have like Apex, Hyperliquid. You have Alpha.exchange, which is my DEX, which is running right fucking now. Alpha.exchange.
I've never heard of this one. Someone in the chat asking, can you have a look at CCD? CCD, Concordium? What are your predictions? I'm in it.
CCD? I don't know. Neo, is it a Neo coin? Is it CCD?
I have no idea.
CCD?
Yeah, CCD.
Kraken, it's on. Euro.
Concordium or something.
I'm not going to give you any fundamentals, bro. I'm not a fundamental guy. The only time I look at fundamentals is with investments, but predominantly I just look at price charts and make a decision on the basis of what I see on the chart. But I'd say this is not a bad chart. Like, this is a pretty good chart. This is a bull market. Bull market. It's a good chart. It'll probably go up from here. Like it will likely have some next move. There's always one more. It'll probably go up. Like it's above its prior high. Hasn't even lost this. So there's a buy. As a trader, you would buy here, between here and here. So you'd buy that for the anticipation of continuation. If it goes all the way to here and breaks that, then you're looking for the short. And then that's it. Then you have a trend line like that, and all you fuckers can do that. I'm doing that very elementary, but if you went a little bit more, deep into it, that would be like the general thesis of just like trading the pattern. But it's going to likely go up in terms of price. I wouldn't bet against that. I'd buy it.
Right, I'm all in.
Let's go, baby. But
someone's saying as well, the Bitcoin and gold chart looks identical to Sol USDT.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to go down these fractal rabbit holes, but yeah. Let me say one thing, guys. You can, okay, this is something which people literally don't think about, but any chart can look exactly the same as any other chart. It's actually crazy. Like because you got to think about like looking at a chart. With the tools we have today, you can look at on a 1 second, a 1 minute, a 5 minute, a 1 hour, a 10 hour, a 4 hour, a 10. There's literally a billion different ways you can look at it. It's not like we're in the Roman era where they have to like go and get a piece of paper and mark the price every day, and then you have the chart. And that's what people used to do. But the thing is about these charts these days, if you find a daily chart which looks like something, you could probably find that exact same pattern in a fractal in probably the same asset, just on a different time frame. Because the thing is about the market cycles and what they do, if you take a 10-year market cycle, that 10-year cycle is just happening every second, but on a lower time frame. The only difference you have is that higher time frames are more reliable to make a decision on what's going to happen in the future, because A higher time frame means you have to have more money to move it. So the more money you need to move it means the more rigid and slow it becomes, because less and less people have more and more money. It's just a process of elimination. But if you're on the 1 minute, you can actually change the price quite significantly. But I'm just saying that it's just all fractals, 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 fractals over and over again, all the different things. So any chart can look the same as another chart. If everyone's like, oh my God, look at this fractal, it looks exactly the same as the Bitcoin chart, it's going to happen, it's a load of fucking bollocks. Because they're probably looking at it off, they're probably literally looking at they're looking at a 4-hour chart on Bitcoin and bringing up a 5-minute chart on fucking Solana and saying, oh, it's the same pattern. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, I know, bro. That's why you're Pete no stop loss.
Yeah, I lost it all.
You literally did as well.
Yeah, you got to make it all back.
Oh, mate, come on, bro. Make it all back. Remember when I was singing with glasses on with a hat on going like, Stammer don't get it. Stammer don't get it. That was the good old days,
He really
man.
doesn't get it.
Stammer don't get it.
What do you think about this?
Trudeau don't get it. They just don't get it. Do you remember the just don't get it? Trudeau don't get it. They just don't get it. Stammer don't get it. Yeah, you weren't in the era. I was on stream listening to my music, just going, Stammer don't get it. Trudeau don't get it. And I was like, Trump definitely gets it.
Trump gets a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we're Trump fans, man. I called Trump fucking years before people even knew who he was. That's a funny quote. That's a funny one.
Yeah, you called Trump.
He wasn't even big.
Hey, look at this. This chart.
Which jobs would you advise your kids to pursue to survive the coming AI job wipeout? Total job openings, SP 500. So it says, just in, new viral chart shows ChatGPT's impact on job openings. The great thing about this whole thing, I actually just watched, Joe Rogan sit down with Elon Musk, and it's fascinating to me to see Elon Musk talk about Milton Friedman so much, because I never got into Milton Friedman because of any of these people. I got into Milton Friedman actually probably because of like Ron Paul, actually, which sounds ridiculous, but years and years and years ago, and also George Gleidner used to talk about him. So, and then now he's talking about him so much. And there was a fucking hilarious quote where he said that, and I don't want to butcher this, I probably will because I'm fucking hungover, but there was a load of men shoveling with shovels. So they're moving dirt in construction. And Milton Friedman was like, why don't you guys start using like machinery to speed up the process of the men shoveling the dirt with the shovels? And they were like, no, we can't do that because they'll lose their jobs. And then Milton Friedman was like, well, why don't you get them to use teaspoons instead then? And that is literally the epitome of like, it's such a clever remark, because it's like, well, if you're going to live by these rules of, okay, let's not try and ruin anyone's job because machinery can do shoveling better than, so shoveling is slower than machinery. Well, then get all of the workers to use teaspoons and then employ the whole fucking town. And that's the concept with ChatGPT. Everyone thinks it's going to eradicate all these jobs. But actually, what you're not looking at is all the jobs it's going to create, and also the subsequent increase of GDP that it will create. Because you've got to remember that everyone's an employee. No one's an employer. Okay, obviously there are employers because I employ people, but the ratio between people who employ people and the ratio to business owners. So business owners relative to employees. Everyone's worried, and everyone's employees. Oh my God, we're so worried we're going to lose our jobs. But the problem people aren't understanding is that when you have a massive reduction of barrier to entry for workforce, you can easily become the employer, but you're employing the AI, or you're employing the robot, or you're employing. So like, people aren't getting it. It's like, I don't see any reason why AI isn't going to increase GDP by insane amounts. Like, insane amounts. And I've said this before. Even Elon's fucking thing he did with Rogan like 3 days ago. He was saying this point. I didn't get this from him. I was saying this before that whole fucking interview. I've been talking about GDP going up because of AI, because we're going to have an army of slaves. It's going to be the new slavery. The new slavery is robots and AI. They don't sleep, they don't shit, they don't fart, they don't need anything, and they're not human, they're not moral. You can just get them to work for you forever. So everyone's like, oh my God, we're going to lose all these job openings, less people. The reason that job openings are going down is because companies can now use AI to do that job. But that also means that you can do the same fucking thing. So that means that you can get the subsequent value out of the system without doing the job. You don't need it anymore. So like you don't need the job, but you can still get the output. So that means you're going to have a reduction of cost and increase of GDP. Gross domestic product's going to go up because more products for less help, less work. And imagine if you have a robot doing all your shit. Then you don't even have to do it yourself. Then you don't have to wash up the dishes. Then your wife's just going to be chilling out fucking doing her nails all day. Like,
what did you think of the Neo robot, dude?
What, the one which walked into a mirror?
No, I don't think that's the same, but they're all kind of like the same level at the moment, aren't they? No, the Neo one was supposed to be much better. It's one for your home, and like, you know, it goes around, does you?
To me, I'm not gonna fucking do it. Like I'll do it.
What about like doing your dishes or folding up your laundry and stuff?
Yeah, I got my missus for that, bruv. Like,
you know, yeah, but like, you know,
you don't like that fucking anti-woke stuff, do you, wokey? But no, I'm only joking. I'm saying that nah, it's like this. It's like this. I actually made an analogy earlier about this. It's like this. Driverless cars are probably safer than human beings driving, but no one's doing it yet because there isn't enough data. It's like it probably is, but I'm still like, nah. When you have 10 years of driverless cars and you can see 10 years of data where it's like driverless cars kill this many people and people who drive kill this many people, when you get that hard data in front of you, you're like, okay, well, this is obvious now. It happened with me with trading bots, actually. I never automated my trading because I just was skeptical. But then I looked at my bot and I was like, well, this is hard numbers. Now I have to just, you're an idiot if you don't do it. I think it's the same with robots. It's just like, I need like hard evidence for like 10 years of this robot's not going to kill me in my sleep before I do it. Anything to add, Peter?
Just looking at this Neo robot again. The thing is, it's one that they've shown. It's actually a guy remote controlling the robot, so it's not.
Oh God, no! It's going to take a long time for me to want to do this. Like, it's going to take a long time.
Would you want someone else like remote accessing the robot to go around?
No, not that's even worse. Because then
this is like the early stage though to help it get better.
I think like the thing I would like would be like something, for instance, like this. You have a dishwasher and you just put your plates next to the dishwasher and it just grabs them and does it for you. I don't want something walking around. I also think it's a bit of a hazard. Like, what happens if it by mistake doesn't see something and like breaks it, or like it might even like, I don't know. There's going to be a lot of fucking bad scenarios.
What about having sex with robots?
That's already happening, mate. Go to Japan.
No, but like on a bigger scale, you know, where a lot of people are just banging their robots.
I'll be a bit controversial about it. There's a lot of dudes who don't get a lot of sex. Like, guys, I'm a blessed human being. I go out and I party and I do my stuff. But there's a lot of dudes out there who don't have that luxury, and like, I actually think it could be probably positive. Because like, I don't know, it probably could be positive. Like, because then dudes can actually like go and have sex and not have to fucking worry. And like, if they're sexless, then I think that's when you get the problems. I think dudes need it.
Can you see my screen? This one was really funny. Adam Gold talking about the robot, and the question really, can you actually hear the audio though if I play it? We seem to have broken that whole way of me sharing my audio with you.
Mate, you're sharing it right now. Click on the actual short. Oh no, yeah, it's fucked. I don't know what happened though. It would be good to play it, but what's it about? Some weird.
You don't get the audio.
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. So if you've got a robot and you're having sex with a robot, and the robot's being controlled by someone, first of all, do you think that's prostitution or sex work if the robot's being controlled by someone else? Like, it is kind of sex work if they're using the robot to do it.
I think the question is more like, is it cheating on your partner? Like, is that?
Well, yeah, that's another question as well. But yeah, do you think having sex with robots cheating with your partner?
I don't really think that. Like, if it depends on the culture and it depends on the relationship. But like, I know the Japanese do it. Like, the men literally have sex with prostitutes, but their wives don't think it's cheating. It just depends on the culture. In the West, yes, probably, but It's all context. It's all subjective. Like, it depends on the situation. Like, what happens if you're a fucking? What happens if you're a dude who's literally had a prolific past of like being addicted to sex, and you have a wife that you love, but you're like, look, I just need to go and bang prosies all the time, and she's like, okay, because I love you. Then fair. But it just depends. It's so subjective. In my opinion, probably if you're in a loving relationship and you're banging prostitutes all the time, you go down as a cheat. Yeah. But like, it depends on the situation. Depends on the fucking relationship.
All right. Well, what about if you have sex with a robot, but the robot, this is what the clip was about, but the robot's being controlled by a man in another country remotely?
That's just fucking gay.
Does that mean that, yeah, that
No,
you're
that means you're homo. That means you like cock.
so you straight,
To be honest, though, it happens on only mate. It happens on OnlyFans.
It's a female robot, like it's a you know, you're having sex with a robot that's designed to be a replica of a woman.
To be honest, mate, all I know is this: there's gonna be a lot of this happening, and like, it's gonna get absolutely crazy. There'll probably be a whole sex industry on the basis of no human involved. Yeah, like it happens already with OnlyFans. Like, you got these dudes. Sorry, you got these women who employ dudes.
You could just say, yeah, you could talk about like porn and stuff, you know, whether that's cheating or whatever. You go down those lines.
Yeah, is porn cheating? I like no. Like, is it? No. Like, well, actually, the funny thing is, I won't mention any names here, but a personal friend who has a sister, she did catch her boyfriend using OnlyFans, and she dumped him because of that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that was OnlyFans. That wasn't like. That was like subscribing
I could
to
see why
she
might be more upset than just catching him watching porn, because OnlyFans, you kind of like.
Is it though?
Like,
it wasn't like explicit content.
Oh really? Yeah, I know. Well, that might be even worse if it's like some sort of like emotional content.
Well, the thing is, the funny
because the whole premise is that it's you and the creator talking to each other, I guess, isn't it?
I know, but the funny thing is that I won't, like I said, mention any names. The argument back was this, and I'm not going to mention any names, but the girl involved in this relationship hadn't had sex with her boyfriend for a long time. We're talking like over a year, okay?
Yeah.
He then obviously it just goes, how far do you want to go down? Because actually she wasn't having sex with him, so he was just looking for an outlet to have some sort of like connection with something. And I would, in my opinion, I would probably say actually it was probably her fault, because if you're not giving your man what he wants, yeah, maybe he is going to look for other options. But if you're actually going for it and you're showing a lot of affection to your husband, for instance, in this scenario, why would he be on OnlyFans? Because men are men. Like, people don't, like, everyone doesn't get it. Like, there's a study done. This is actually fucking crazy, biological standpoint. But when a woman has sex with a man, they always release oxytocin. Always. Every single time a woman has sex with a man, regardless of the situation, they release oxytocin. When a man has sex with a woman, they don't. Not always. They only release oxytocin when they love the woman. That in itself, and people will overlook this, and all the feminists will get upset, this is backed by legitimate science. That in itself is, let's call it a debatable topic on the premise of which one is cheating. In terms
do you
of,
think,
I think
if a woman has regular sex with her robot in her house, do you think she starts to love the robot?
That's a real big fucking question. But I looking at that study, there's a higher chance that the woman would release oxytocin than the man. But maybe because it's not human, there has to be some sort of human. I don't know. There's probably another nuance to it, but I'm just saying that that's the study. Like, you can go and look this up. Like, you can look this shit up. Like, and this also does. This is even more crazy, bro. This actually also does relate to women that don't like the man, or even it can be in situations which are super aggressive, even stuff like rape. This is crazy shit. There's an inbuilt mechanism within women that when they have sex with a man, they release oxytocin, regardless. There's obviously going to be extreme cases, and you can probably change that in some degrees. But this study was saying that they always release oxytocin when they have sex with a man, but men don't. They don't. Men only release oxytocin when they love the woman. If you really think about that, like, this is just open shit. Like, this is a normal study.
The most annoying thing about OnlyFans is the notification when your subs are due to expire. They can get you in the poop, I guess. What? They can get you in the poop. I'm not sure what that means. But,
Day one, 50 cents, mate.
Yeah, you're. Anyway, look at this one. This
Th-
is the new kind of like degen platform. It's a couple of days old now. A lot of people, but I saw this pop up, went viral a little bit. The Dare Market. It's my screen sharing for you.
Yeah, I can see it, bro. What is this?
Yeah. So Dare Market now open for everyone. Day one, $50,000 prizes. Enter some competitions. The newest version of the trenches is here. And like the actual site when you go on it, it's just some of these are real lame, but it's like you have to go out and do these pranks and then submit your. I don't know how it actually.
Oh, that's
works.
quite sick. So what? It's like a dare platform. You can get rewarded for doing the dare.
Yeah, so
that's
people
gonna get hectic.
So in Black Mirror, there was an episode where there was a guy who needed cash for his wife or something, or for the house, or something like that, and then secretly he was going into another room, and like he'd log on, and they'd say, "Okay, look, we'll send you, I don't know, a couple £1,000, pull out a couple of your teeth on stream," and then he'd do it. And then it just progressively got more and more extreme because he needed the money for his wife. I think she might have been ill.
I think that Black Mirror shit is quite interesting. But there was also all I remember from Black Mirror was when
they actually made it.
Yeah, I know, it's quite cool. But I think like the only black Hyperliquid, the only Black Mirror episode I remember is when like that Prime Minister like had sex with a pig or something.
Yeah, that was the first ever episode.
That's the only one I remember. Like I don't ever watch it after that, but it was the thing is about the social score thing on that. That's kind of happening in a lot of countries now. What is this? Scream Hyperliquid for 10 seconds in public.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if anyone's submitted a video.
Yeah, that's easy. No, it's probably fun. Like they'll probably try and regulate it or something.
Yeah, this guy's out there. He's got two likes and it's just.
I can see his mouth moving. It's his head Hyperliquid.
Yeah. Why is the audio not playing?
I don't know. Maybe I've got it set to some weird shit.
We'll figure that out. But I've just got this guy screaming Hyperliquid in my ears right now. Let's get rid of him. But yeah, it's kind of like the pump fun streams, isn't it? Where they're just like doing more and more ridiculous stuff.
Yeah, well, it's just like daring someone in the street. It's kind of like, obviously there's gonna be limits to like how far you should go with it, but I think it's all these types of ideas good.
Just imagine you had no money whatsoever, and
how do you know they're gonna pay you though? That's another thing.
I think you submit it, and the craziest one wins. Out of the submissions, the one who's done it the best wins.
Yeah.
And I guess they make sure you haven't.
Let's do one where shout MDX algo in public.
Should we set one up? And we'll set one up this week, and then we'll go through it next week.
Yeah, let's do it. Set one up. Shout MDX algo in a public place.
I'm not too sure how much steam this has gathered, though. Like how active it actually is, because it doesn't seem to be like a lot of people that are mud bath for a piggy, dare market tattoos. Yeah, we'll see. We'll try and scream who you are. It's just it looks a little bit lame, to be honest. What's some of the newest?
Mate, it's only lame by the dares on the fucking platform. Let's make some good ones.
Eat canned herring, and you have to submit that.
Let's get back onto the sex topic.
You want to go back to where we were going to have sex with robots or not?
Mate, honestly, that industry is going to get so big. And I don't know whether it's going to be a bad or fucking good. I reckon it's going to be good for some, bad for some. It's going to be a weird world. It's going to be a weird economy. Like... Mate, but what happens when robots become indistinguishable to humans? Like, what happens when they literally, like, you wouldn't... Like, think about this. Like, you can play a video game now, and it's pretty much there, right? What about, like, when you go to the level of, like... And also, you could even say that indistinguishable AI content is happening now. So, there probably will be a day, I don't know if it happened in a lifetime, where there'll be robots which you don't know that they're not humans. You only would know maybe by some sort of, like... You know, they have a red light on their head. I don't know, like I Am Robot. Like that's gonna get crazy because then you're in a whole different fucking world. When then you're literally.
Yeah, as soon as they start flashing red, you're in trouble.
When the red light starts blinking and they're giving you the eye, you should get out of the proximity. Like you're gonna get blasted up. But no, it's gonna come. Like, and I think it'll probably. Like, the thing is, if you think about like prostitution in terms of like what women put themselves through in terms of danger for money. You know, that will all go away probably, and then it's just gonna be weird. It might become as
Is there any charts is there any charts showing the rate of OnlyFans like new creators and revenue versus AI like impact on OnlyFans and like that sort of stuff? Because
we need to find
surely
something.
that's
Go on chat. Maybe just chat GPT it on the screen.
Like,
why are they ringing me? One sec.
Yeah, let's have a little look.
Hello, bro. Just leave outside the door.
Is this another delivery? It's the
Yeah,
tax
man.
man again.
Tax are coming back. They've seen me talking about porn now. They're trying to get me on the porn shit. Fucking hell, I'm gonna go to jail. No, bro, it's gonna be crazy. But like, I'm just saying, like, it will probably. I don't know, mate. If it might get to the point where the amount of people who use porn in our society, it might get to the point where robotics and robots are so similar that it's just that known. Like it's just like everyone does it. Like it's crazy, man. I don't know where it's gonna go, but it's gonna come.
So there's all sorts of there's mad stories at the minute. I created an AI version of myself to lighten my workload. She does all the jobs I won't do, and she's hot as well. AI bots.
We can't see your screen, by the way.
Yeah, I know. These are just a couple of the examples. I'm just reading out. AI bots are talking dirty to the people, so they don't have to do it. I'm more thinking of like they replacing a lot of creators and new creators and stuff. But
that's already that's already happening. Like when apparently TikTok is like 70% AI videos now. I don't use TikTok. I don't even have the app, so like I don't know. But apparently it's 70% AI generated content. Which is
I'm noticing it a lot more with Twitter. Sorry, X. There's
it's
a lot
coming.
of stuff I click on and replies. I'm looking for some good reply guys, you know, that are actual genuine people, and you could just tell it's just bots just sending in like.
Bro, if Musk is right on what he said on his Joe Rogan podcast the other day, where he said that within 6 years there will be no applications, you won't log into anything. And it will just be AI creating pixels and sounds that you want to see. Like, this is completely mental. Like, there's going to be absolutely no difference between a Hollywood film and an AI-generated film, a porn film from whatever. You could probably just like come up with your own thing. And also like think about like recording studios. We even had that idea the other day. Like, if you really think about it, like if you get to the point where you can clone yourself perfectly in a studio with AI and you can chat about anything you want, you can type in whatever thing you have and it's literally indistinguishable. So like it can just program itself on all of the videos I've ever done, which is a lot. It could probably just talk like me, do me and be me, and like I don't know, that is probably what's coming. And like I said, the whole Elon Musk thing, literally, and I'm not going to fucking say, oh, I said this before Elon Musk, but I'm saying like I said this fucking 10 years ago. I was like, I don't think we log into social media anymore in the future. And this was during the blockchain days when we had IPFS. I was talking about it a second ago. IPFS, the Interplanetary File System. A lot of us blockchain dudes back in the day, we were like, oh, well, if you can store all of your data on a cloud, which is not controlled by a central party, and you shard all of the information on the internet, you could get to a point where social media is something you don't log into because you only log into social media because they have the server farm where you hold your data with them. So they put it on the fucking screen. If you can have all your data on the internet but not controlled by anyone in a decentralized way, it means that you're not logging into your account, you're just accessing your digital form. And then that would be what Elon's kind of saying, where it's like you don't log into your app, you just access your digital content, and then you are essentially, in the same way I go and talk to someone in the street from myself, you just say that thing in the digital world, so then everyone can hear it, but you don't have to be next to them. So like, maybe, bro, like this is probably what's going to happen. Like, we're going to have some sort of digital area or realm which we can plug into. Everything we want to see, we can see it because we don't need anyone to produce content, because all the content can be produced by the AI and the rendering it does on its own with all the compute it needs. So like, yeah, you just go and you're chilling out. You've got your weird glasses on. It's plugged into some sort of hyper powerful computing system in the cloud. And you go, all right, I want to watch Wolf of Wall Street, but I want to be the main character. And I want Jessica Alba instead of Margot Robbie. And then it just happens. And you're just like, okay. And you're watching it. And it's like me instead of Leo, even though we're basically the same fucking person, going and throwing midgets at walls. I don't know. I think it's definitely coming. I think, and also, I even had even my sister, she's in videography. Like, she still makes money because of the super artistic level, but that work's going to go away. Even in my company, MDX Algo, we just didn't need design. We were just like, okay, well, we don't need it anymore, so let's move on from there. And like, you just had that chart up on your screen with all the jobs going down. Yeah, it's like human input goes to zero. Human input goes to zero, but productivity and GDP goes up. So it's like very similar, and I know this is going to sound controversial, but it's very similar to the slave trade of humans, or let's just say slavery in general, where you have zero cost for maximum labor, and that created increased GDP for the countries that had the access, or they were doing the slaving, right? This is what we're going to get. We're going to have an army of AI slaves, robots, which are slaves, essentially. They will do anything you want, whenever you want, for zero cost, essentially. You're going to have an AI, a robot, and an infinite amount of creation of things. So that basically what it means is the cost goes to zero, but the output goes to the moon. So essentially everyone's like, oh, I'm going to lose my job. So you become the thing that can now control it.
Scanning through a lot of the replies, and I just kind of had this idea anyway. The main question was, what jobs would you advise your kids to pursue to survive the coming AI?
All right, let's do. I reckon this, and this is commonly known. This is commonly known. Okay, AI, which I think Elon said it as well. He's hit all the points. He said anything that moves atoms. That's what he actually said. But we've known this for a while. So like plumbing, mechanical engineering.
Plumbing was number one, really, that people are suggesting.
Yeah, but the problem is about plumbing is like.
Rush for plumbers.
But yeah, there's going to be that, but that's only going to be a short window because AI can't do that, but robots will do that. Like, robots make cars. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, if a robot can build a car, they can come and fucking fix your sink. Like, that's going to go away.
Someone skilling up right now. They've just been replaced by something. Like, they've been let go, and they're like, I'm going to go and learn a trade. They learn.
Yeah. Well, I think it's quite good. I think it's quite good for the middle class.
It takes them a year or two, and then by the time they're properly like setting up their own plumbing thing, the plumbing robots are ready.
Yeah. But the thing is about that concept is like, if you do have an army of robot plumbers, it means that the cost is going down, and you're going to have a plumber out at 5 a.m. So like,
I need one.
Well, the other day when your fucking tap went, I remember that you were like,
I had my head underneath the sink, and my partner's in the room. I'm screaming, "Babe, bring me a bucket or something." I'm holding this tap, and it just is like blasting out. It's coming out all over the floor. I'm like, "Help me!" Honestly, it was fucking hilarious. Afterwards, it was funny.
During it happened to me the other day as well. Like, I just hit something and the plug went, and it was just spraying, and like. No, I think it's going to be I genuinely believe, actually, like, it's going to be a laughing point for a lot of, like, let's say the working class. Because working class people who are plumbers, electricians, and plasterers, and all these dudes, they might have the last laugh for a few years, and then they'll get wiped out by complete automation and printing houses. But, like, I think the AI revolution is going to hit those tech guys. And we've already known this, and we can see it, even in my own company. Like, the people who, for instance, did the newsletter, don't need them anymore. The guys who are doing the design, don't need them anymore. Actually, probably what's going to happen is the coding is going to change. But at the moment, it's nice to have a professional coder who can like use the AI and then put it together. But soon that might go away. Soon it might just be. I don't think there's anything negative about this. The only negative thing is subjectivity to what your meaning in life becomes. Like. But the thing is, it's just going to become like, what will you do? And it will be, oh, all right, well, I like doing this, I like doing that. And then I think creative tasks will go through the roof. And maybe stuff like live concerts. No. One thing we do know is that human beings are biologically attached to things that made us who we are thousands of years ago. Our bodies haven't evolved out of even instinctual creatures' nature. So we live in an instinctual, natural world. We're animals. We feel like all these weird emotions. We didn't choose that. We feel like jealousy, love, hate, greed, whatever it is. All of these things are not going away. Well, we hope not, because if it does, then it's even more fucked. But if you think about it this way, the one thing that does tie us all together, which hasn't changed, is our biology. So I think the main thing which will probably grow will be stuff like festivals, live events, going for a walk. Like I don't, what they do in Japan, like go and do Zen shit, like like go and be a monk. Like we're not going to need, and actually you even see that. Like think about, okay, I know I'm going back to slavery, but it was something which we did for. It's something which happened for the last 25,000 years of human. It's happening, right? If you think about it, what used to happen is the countries that had the slaves would be the people who would go and live the life of luxury, like the emperor, for instance. Like they would go and sit and eat grapes and relax and talk and socialize and do the events and watch the gladiator events and shit because they didn't need to do the work themselves. So I'm saying, like, it's basically that on steroids. Everyone becomes the emperor of controlling the bot or the AI or whatever. And then, but it doesn't mean we're going to be any less poor. There's no example of that going, like, it's a weird one though, because it's like, if GDP goes up and work goes down in terms of the need to work, but GDP goes up, because that's going to happen. That's a pretty cool world. That's almost utopian in a way. But then you have the problem where you might have like mass depression because people just are bored of not doing. So I think maybe more recreational events. Like I think genuinely live things. I think
the whole thing where like people just will do nothing. I think it's just a load of bollocks. Like,
but it's like this. It's like this is a really good analogy as well, and this is really weird. But when Beat Match came out, so this is DJing shit. This is DJing, and this is something a DJ told me this years ago when I was doing it in Brazil. He was like, someone said to him, or it was a point. He said, well, isn't beat matching the music just cheating? And he was like, no, because now I can concentrate on other things to make the production better. Because like a lot of DJs back in the day with CDJs and vinyls, they would spend most of their time just matching the beats together, and that would be where all their time was spent. Now we have all this technology where it does it all for you. But the guy was trying to say, well, aren't you just cheating? Like, what are you going to do? He was like, no, it's not fucking cheating. Now I don't have to worry about that. I can just concentrate on the next thing that makes it better. So it's almost like AI is going to raise all the ships. But then because everything's raised to a higher level, there'll be certain things that then we can concentrate on to even make it better. Because there's always going to be good and bad. But the ratio of everything being at the bottom will just rise, and then the high will rise, and the low will. It's going to be like a weird. I think it's going to be good. I think a lot of people don't like their jobs as well.
All right, so answer the question: what would you tell your kid to get into if thinking about how the world's
probably
going?
Trading? Yeah, it'll be financial markets, trading, investing.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't say plumbing. That's gonna get hit by the fucking. Well, no. In the short term, if you're like a dude who like needs a job now, then yeah, go do a trade.
You're 16, 17, and like you're not that good at coding and stuff. So you're unlikely.
I said it on my video. I was like, if you want to become financially free in the future, you need to learn how to trade financial markets and get into crypto, because what else can you buy? There's never going to be the dynamic of. So innovation is built on the premise of making things more efficient. That's the definition. All it is an increase of efficiency. So if you're innovating, you're creating more efficient things, tools, or aspects, or services. So there's always going to be a market for betting on the thing that can increase innovation, or let's say increase efficiency faster. So like that's the game now. You just have to invest in the things that you think can grow. And then that's how you become financially better, because there's always going to be a market for someone making a mistake and someone not. You bet on the wrong thing, you bet on the right thing. So that's probably one way. But we probably will have a universal basic living standard. It won't be an income, but actually that goes in a real deep rabbit hole right there in my head, because then you got like the whole concept of like how communism works and how freedom works, because essentially like the communists want to live in a world where they have an equal amount of everything without work. It's actually going to be really strange. Like when you think about the dynamics of like, control and freedom, when you actually become into a society where you don't need to work and you can have an abundance of everything because there are things that are done for you with no effort, it's going to be weird. There probably will be some weird scenarios where like communism actually works, and then libertarian views and capitalism works, and there might be completely different things that I think maybe all of these systems can work to a level where they're livable. But it's just how good they are going to be. So it's like you could live in a complete communist regime, but it's still actually pretty fucking good, because actually everything is free, and it actually is, you're getting a high amount of GDP from it. But it's just going to be the difference between how good is the society, whether the government want to regulate it in a way which is more communist views or totalitarian views, or they go more libertarian and free market capitalism. Maybe that it's all livable in the future, but there'll just be different levels of how good it is, because it's going to raise all the fucking ships. So China, which is obviously more communist, might be one of the best countries in the world to live in, but you just might have slightly different social freedoms than, say, somewhere like America, which is more built on the libertarian view. So it's going to be, the world might just be better as a whole, but it might be like, yeah, either insanely good or just good, which is going to be quite fun. Or the robots all turn on us and then we become the slaves of the robots and then we're fucked. But that's what a lot of fucking AI people are saying.
Mike C in the chat, I want something I can plug into and charge myself up instead of sleeping. Massive waste of time. I need a fast charger. If suddenly the whole structure of like a human day was disrupted because we can charge ourselves up somehow instead of sleeping.
Yeah, they've done stem cell stuff on monkeys now where they managed to roll back their age and shit. The one limit, the thing is, the one thing we've got going for ourselves is that since the last ice age, where all human beings, I know this is controversial, but all human beings essentially stemmed from the Middle African basin. So Africa is where all Homo sapiens originated from, because all Neanderthals were killed in the Ice Age. So we all originated from the middle of Africa. Where am I going with this point? Anyway, I'm trying to say that we are still tied to the same things that the people in the Masai Mara in Kenya, the things they needed to do to survive, to feel good, are exactly the same as they are today. So we can say that our biology has not changed for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, regardless of any external factors around us. So that's the one thing we can bet on, is that the things that made us happy when we were tribal in the middle of Africa, those things that make us happy then still make us happy today. And it's community, and it's building family, and it's resourcefulness, and it's all that shite. So all we can say is that most of the shit which all these guys who are trying to, in biology labs, are trying to do, probably won't actually change the real fundamental needs of human beings, which is good, because at least that puts a flag in the ground and says, this is actually what reality, if you want to live a good reality, we still know what it is, because it's the same as it was 5,000 fucking years ago. So that might be like the fucking limiting factor. You might have companies coming out and saying, because the world is so abstracted, and you can live in an AI robot, and you can live in a computer game, and you don't have to have any connection to anything which you were 5,000 years ago, there will probably be companies who will come out and say, these are the blueprints of what you need to do as a human just to feel good. Because we know for thousands of years they haven't changed. So maybe that's what's going to stop humans from like essentially just turning into a ball of jelly and being plugged into a fucking computer. Because most of those things probably will just completely destroy our quality of life and happiness. Because going for a walk with your mates and having a beer at the pub, it's been the same fucking shit for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of fucking years. And I would say that probably one of the best things you can do is get a load of your good mates and just go and sit down and have a chat and have a beer and just be an idiot for 15 minutes. Like, that's fun. But I don't think you can break that. Maybe there's some weird biological thing they're going to do where they can just completely manipulate your dopamine levels and your serotonin and oxytocin, manipulated completely into this thing. But the track record doesn't really... The track record...
Robot bodyguards as well.
Yeah, that's going to be epic. But the problem is the problem with that, if you have robot bodyguards, you have robot assassins. So then you're fucked. Yeah,
because we already do, don't we, with the drones and stuff, you know?
I don't know.
It's mad how much like advanced equipment that costs like hundreds of thousands of dollars to make just gets absolutely destroyed by like a cheap drone with a bomb sellotape to it at the minute.
Yeah, well, another scary statistic, which is, I think you could just go get it on like, I think it's this Statistica or some shit. It just says that like the probability of human beings not being at war is just like astronomically low. So like all you know is that the the wars that will come next are going to be... It's weird though, because when the Second World War happened, that was like one of the worst in terms of the amount of people on the planet and the amount of death, it was one of the worst wars. But it wasn't actually like the worst, because there were like some really bad examples where like literally like 50% of populations were killed in like the Mongolians, for instance. But it's like, I don't know. I would like to see a chart now of like which direction it's going. So like, is it an increased trajectory of like wars getting worse, or is it a decreased trajectory of wars getting less worse in terms of the amount of people on the planet and the amount of death? Like, I don't know. Like, there might be some unbelievably mental war in the future, but hopefully not. But
well, yeah, the capacity for violence has gone up and up and up throughout history, isn't it? Like the amount of
the capacity to kill, the number of people you can kill with technology has gone up, but the ratio between the population to the amount of people who died, I think, is going down. So like, if you had there's
less death than there's ever been.
So it's like if you were born in a civilization where there was 50,000 people, 10,000 or 15,000 people might die in that war, which would be like 20-30% of the population. But nowadays you have populations of millions, and then maybe 1 or 2 million die. Or let's say Iraq war, 500,000 people, both sides, well, mainly Iraqis, and whether they were terrorists or not, you still say that. But the population of Iraq, which I don't actually know, but I would put it in the ballpark figure of 50 to 100 million people, you'd still say that. I know it's 500,000 deaths, but actually in ratio terms, that's a smaller percentage than if you were crossing the mountains in Mongolia and killing whole villages or some shit. It's weird. It's a weird concept, but it's like, yeah, you can kill more people, but it's actually less significant in relation to the amount of people. And I think the Gaza war would be a good example as well. Like, yeah, 20,000 people died, or maybe more, maybe it's 50,000, and it was mainly civilians, and I get it's all fucked up, but in the grand scheme of things, just go back to the Second World War, like, or go back to the Vietnam War and stuff. Like, bruv, we fucked up a lot of dudes, and like that was a bigger percentage of the population. Or maybe this is maybe the conclusion. There will probably be a day that more people will die, but it will mean less of the population, which is kind of fucked up. Also, think about fucking the Spanish flu and shit, and think about the Black Plague. Yeah, imagine if the Black Plague came back. Like, the funny thing is, me and Will, one of my old friends, spoke about this. Because of COVID, everyone's so skeptical about institutions telling them about health, right? So, and guess what? COVID, the reaction at the very beginning, I actually think was quite normal. Like, we don't know what this is. Let's just like fucking lock down because we don't know what it is. As soon as we knew what it was, then it got a little bit too crazy. But at the very beginning, that was probably the right reaction, because if COVID was as bad as the Black Plague, and then we were all like, nah, don't listen to the government, yeah, we'd all be fucking dead. So like, the next one, if the next pandemic is as bad as the Black Plague, you're going to have millions of people who are going to go against what the government are saying. No, we've seen this before. Remember what you did us with masks during COVID? It will be so unbelievably ironic. I think that's another Elon Musk quote. Fate and the reality of what happens usually is the most ironic path. That would be mental. If the next pandemic is as bad or worse as the Black Plague, everyone's like, no, don't do what the government said. And then it's just going to get absolutely... The human species might lose half of its population. Get the chat GPT up and ask how many people of a percentage of the population of the world died because of the Black Plague. I think it's 50%, which is fucking mental. We need chat GPT... What? We need chat GPT up just on the screen and just ask it shit.
Black Plague.
Yeah, just ask this question. So, there you go. Lovely. 75 to 200 million people.
Yeah.
Wait. But then do this. How many people died? But then ask what percentage of the global. Actually, it was Europe. So, what percentage of Europe was that? 30 to 60% of Europe's population died. So let's just go by the middle fucking number, around 50 or 45. Mate, that's mental. Lower estimate, 31%. Upper estimate, 50%. So, bruv, if the next one's that, it's actually scary. It makes you realize how unbelievably, like, fragile we are. They could
we've been lucky for a long time.
we're just like these animals which can die from like a bacteria or a virus, and like
like War of the Worlds. That's how we killed the robots.
oh
The
yeah,
aliens.
yeah. They got all ill, didn't they? They got sick with the flu.
They got COVID, and then that was it. We won the war. It took a little while.
Also, another scary thing is this. This is what a girl told me in Dubai 5-6 months ago. She saves cats in Dubai, and I was like, that's amazing. Oh wow, it's so cool.
How many cats are wandering around out there?
Bro, mate, it's a pandemic here. Like, so rich people buy loads of cats, and then because there's a high turnover of people here, like people make it and they lose it all. Like, what happens is they just leave their cats on the street, and then what happens is people go and find these cats, which are very expensive cats, and then they sell them to places like America and England, and there's a whole market for it. Yeah, it's a whole market for it because it's actually crazy. But she was saying that there's a virus within the cat community, which is kind of like the Black Plague for humans.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Is it wiping out all cats?
Yeah. Like they all die, and they essentially get this thing like their eyes go like this, and then they I don't know, it just kills them. It's actually something to do with their gut as well. Like these things leach into their gut and just drains all of their nutrients. They die. And I was thinking to myself, like, oh shit, like there are animal species out there that get wrecked by things similar to the Black Plague, but that thing just doesn't know how to mutate to humans at this point. I'm just thinking to myself, like, yo, there are Black Plagues happening in other animal species all the time. We're just like not susceptible to it yet. Like, all it takes is like someone eating a cat or something, and then like a bat.
Yes, there's a bird flu, avian influenza. It's going around and killing a lot of cats at the moment. So if you've got a cat, be careful.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course.
COVID.
But do the Dubai statistic. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was a couple of years ago. Thousands of cats Cyprus have died. That was a couple of years ago. This is just something that seems to be happening quite often.
Yeah, but so my point is that there are viruses.
I don't know about a big one, though.
There are viruses out there that are just plaguing other animals. It's just like we're just right now, we're okay. Like, whoops. But I think the common flu kills. What's the common flu numbers? Do the common flu. So how many people die of the common flu every year in the world, globally? I think it's crazy. Have you got ChatGPT? British citizen has been...
I've definitely got it. Yeah, no, don't worry about that one. We'll talk about that in a second.
Holy shit. 650,000 deaths per year. That's the whole of Bristol. That's double. That's what's Bristol? 450.
Yeah, around that.
So technically that could be the 1918 flu, which killed tens of millions. Wait. So on average, around 500,000 people die from influenza worldwide each year, though the number can rise significantly due to flu seasons and poor pandemics.
Yeah, I'll be pissed off if I end up dying just from like a cold or a flu.
Well, that's how actually most people do die in the end.
Actually, I suppose you've got to be pretty old and have had a good life for that to be how you end up going.
Honestly, bro, that game. What was that game called? It's a game called Pandemic, where you like make one.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, you make the virus. You have to choose like to make it the best virus.
I don't know where I watched this shit, but there's a documentary I watched. I don't know. It was a few years ago. I think it was like during COVID, and there are labs right now with like AI and shit, which are like trying to do that game but not release the virus. So they're essentially building simulations to protect us, obviously. Oh yeah, it's to protect us, maybe, I don't know. But they're building simulations exactly the same as that game to see what would actually kill everyone or kill the majority of the population. And they're using like AI and simulation tools and all this fucking machine learning and shit. And I'm thinking to myself, yo, this is gonna go west at some point. Like, no. Like, there's going to be some guy who comes up with the idea, it gets leaked by a data leak, and then just some idiot who... It's just that some psychopath maniac will just do it or something, just for like to see what happens. You know what I mean? Like, let's see what happens, bro. Then we're fucked. Makes you want to live life young, you know?
Right, we've got Maxi in the chat. The next potential pandemics, number one, it's going to be the bird flu, avian influenza, especially.
Oh, do you remember cow disease, mad cow disease? That's still going around.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, and
I remember when I got it.
you had to drive over the railings and like carpet that have been treated with all of this
Yeah.
stuff.
No, we used to live in rural near Salisbury, in like Hampshire, Wiltshire, and there was a farmer. I can't remember the exact story because it happened in next to us. He had to like burn all of his cattle, mate. It was
Yeah,
like a whole story in our village, and it was disgusting as well, mate. Honestly,
kill them all and then burn
I
them.
went down on my bicycle actually. I think I went on my own. I was a little freak, and I went down on my bicycle. And I was like looking over the thing, and I just saw like this thing, and obviously it was just a mound of like dead animal carcasses. I was like, and then someone saw me and went ballistic. The guy, the farmer said, "If you come on my land again, I'll blow your fucking kneecaps out with a shotgun." I was like, "Shit,
Yeah, I love old farmers chasing kids.
mate." Back when I was a kid, a farmer told me he was going to blow out my kneecaps. I never went back.
Some of these other ones, another coronavirus could be the cause of a next pandemic. Re-emerging vaccine preventable diseases, measles or polio, for example. And then there's number 4, monkeypox, mpox. Thanks for
I
that,
only
Mike.
recently found this out. Well, I didn't find it out. It's just history. When the Spanish went to the Aztec Empire, because the Spanish were the first people who went over to the South Americas.
The Portuguese, or was it the Spanish?
No, it was the Spanish very first. The very first was the Spanish. And they went over
the
there.
Aztec.
The Portuguese went later, and they took over Brazil, but the Spanish did Mexico.
Yeah.
And that was where the Aztecs were. And bro, the story is mental. I didn't realize. I think they think it was 160 million Aztecs got wiped out by smallpox.
They keep finding cities, don't they? Scanning the Amazon, finding massive cities that have just been.
And mate, the Aztecs was a serious deal. And fuck, that actually just goes down another rabbit hole. You know, we said with the War of the Worlds where like the infection killed the thing which came to us. That story's already played out. Like that played out in real time. We went over there, the Westerners, and we had a much more higher immune system because of all the integration. We sailed over there and did nothing. They just all died because we brought smallpox. That's mental, bro. Like, and also another funny thing I heard about from I think it was a documentary about it. They think that also one of the biggest reasons why the Americas failed was because of alcohol, because all of them just got boozed up. What happened is especially the Brits, they were selling alcohol to the native tribes, just getting them hooked on it. They was getting pissed up and then just dying of diseases because their immune system fell, but they didn't understand the significance of like alcohol in their body. So they're all getting pissed and just dying of smallpox. It's absolutely mental.
Yeah, that is savage. I think a lot of the time there was someone who was talking about how he'd done a lot of trips into the Amazon, and there's still like, all these tribes out there that are uncontacted and that
there's one tribe which is killed a lot of tourists. I can't remember the exact name. It's an island. I think it's actually in Indonesia. I can't remember exactly, but there's one island that they've all said don't go because if you go there, they'll kill you.
There's always a dude that just goes there.
There was one guy who went there to try and convert them to Christianity.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the video. I think I sent it to you, but mate, it was mental. He went over there with a cross, and they let him off the first time. Then he went back, and they just killed him. It's still there right now. It's almost like one of those mythical places where no one goes because just like leave them alone, like leave them. I can't remember exactly what it's all about, but it's fucked up.
Someone said I've had mad cow disease, but I dumped her after a year.
Let's just bring the banter back, boys. Let's
yes.
get a beer out. Let's get a fucking beer.
What about this? So this tweet I thought was interesting. We've just had an incident in the UK over the weekend. There was a mass stabbing on a train. And it did bring up, like, when you're locked in a small compartment like a train carriage, it's pretty similar to, if you're locked on a plane or something, there's nowhere to go.
All right.
How can you defend yourself? In America, you're allowed to have like,
mace.
Guns and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, we're not even allowed to have mace over here. Like pepper spray is illegal for British people.
You're literally banging on the door of the Constitution. That's why they all have guns in America, is because it is on the premise of I am allowed to defend myself against any external threat, even the government, so the government can't take my gun away. That's what the whole of America, the whole thing's built on. That's why I always say I get it. I understand why they do it.
Do you not think we should have the right for pepper spray or like?
The problem
I heard
yeah.
someone say that he knew. This was on GB News, by the way. So obviously it's not. This is a bit of
legends, good legends.
They actually are quite funny. But they had this ex-police officer was like, I know some 40, 50-year-old people that are so scared when they go outside, they're considering carrying a knife on them to defend themselves.
It's the catch-22. It's like you have violence, then you have people with more weapons, and you have more violence. Like it's not, honestly, I know this is controversial to English people, but I genuinely don't believe that America having lots of guns is the reason why there's so much gun crime. It's the society itself. It's not the guns. It's like,
I don't know. It's not. You can't say that. I don't think one way or the other. It's definitely,
I know it's a big debate. But I'm trying to say. No, but the thing is, you have to remember that. But you have to remember all the cases where a lot of death is mitigated on the premise of someone shooting someone with a gun. So like, you have a lot of videos you see where a woman, for instance, will get out a handbag and blast some dude. He could have killed 50 fucking people, but he's dead now. So like, I actually do think there's a level where maybe they cross over.
So you're saying the only solution to a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun.
In some cases, that has happened. Yeah. In some cases, that has happened. And also, that's true. But that's true. That's exactly true, because when the police rock up and shoot them, it's a good guy with a gun. So like, it's exactly true. Like, that's how you stop it. Like, there's no way.
We just had a shooting in the UK a week, 2 ago, maybe 3 weeks ago now. Dragging on, but some guy was sorry, it wasn't a shooting. He was attacking this Jewish place with a knife or whatever, trying to kill people. The police turned up and they shot him, but they also shot an innocent person as well through a door or something. So the good guys with a gun turned up, and then they actually just ended up shooting some of the innocent people.
Okay, push it to the extreme.
You can't say it's one thing or the other.
No, but push it to the extreme. Imagine if there was a guy with a gun, and we go down the moral route of a gun can't stop a gun, and then so there's a guy in America with a gun, but the government took up that stance, and there was no police or no army. Then no one can stop him, because you can only kill someone who's got a gun with another fucking gun. So like, it is a rabbit hole. It does go down a systemic rabbit hole, because the police are the good guys with the guns and the criminals are not. So
we're not far from RoboCop. Like, there's going to be a real RoboCop soon, isn't there?
The thing is about the one thing which does go in my mind is the Kirk situation. And the problem is, like, he came out in a fucking interview and he was like, I think we should 100% have guns in the United States because I think it's worth it for a few gun deaths a year. And I was thinking to myself, oh, wow, that's fucked. Because he was literally the guy he was that guy. So there is an argument to say, well, it's okay when it's not you. But when it's you, it matters. And that's the problem with it. It's like, we should all have guns, but there might be 10 people who die a year. It's fine when it's just 10 fucking random people, but when it's you, you pay the ultimate price of that law.
Thailand have got the bum guns.
What, the ones which the men who pretend to be women put up your ass?
No, just the ones for the toilet, bro. The B-days. We're not actually allowed even those. We're not allowed a bum gun in the UK.
What is a bum gun? Like a one with a pellet? Like a...
It's a B-day. It's a B-day. You know, mate, you've done so much around Asia. You know.
Wait, why do you think I know about this, bro?
Because you love a bum gun. Like, you sat on the toilet, and then it's the little spray thing in your hand, and you squeeze it, loads of water shoots out.
I've got those in Dubai. You spray them, and they spray your ass with them, a little thing like that. Shh.
Yeah, we're not even allowed bum guns over here in the UK.
Isn't it just a hose with a thing on the end of it?
It's something to do with like the water it feeds back into. I don't know why we're not. It's so stupid, but yeah.
No. Actually, really Pete, you actually made a good point on this, and I'm gonna expose this point. You made a great point once. You said if you got shit on your hand, you wouldn't wipe it off with paper.
It's the classic one. Yeah.
The classic one. Like I was like, oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't wipe shit off about like.
You know what I do now sometimes? What I do now sometimes in my own house, I'll just go for a shit and then just go for a quick shower.
What? And then you get in the shower head, off of the shower head, so you can really get it up there.
No. I do a blow off top where it goes down my back, and I just give it a good jerk chicken. Fucking wobble it about.
You bend over and
Yeah, I bend it, spread the cheeks, and let all the water flush through. It's fucking peng, man. I think that's what we all do when we have a shower, Pete. Do you not wash your crack when you have a shower?
I take the shower head off, and then
and you whack it up your ass. Yeah, okay, fuck me.
I don't put the whole thing up.
You know what? I'm gonna ask for this part to be clipped, and we're putting this on the internet. I want to get to the bottom of this. Like,
right, anyway,
do you bend over or not? Like, are you gay or what?
Right, listen. So let's go back.
Right, listen.
We're not allowed guns. You cannot allow bum guns, but I think we should definitely have pepper spray. I think that we're allowed to carry mace in the UK to defend us.
What about stun guns, tasers and shit?
We're definitely not allowed tasers as well. It's mad. We're not allowed anything to defend ourselves except our hands, and calling the police. And even our police most of the time don't really have anything to. Well, yeah, they're always carrying mace and stuff like that.
The funny thing is, it worked for so many fucking years in England because we had a good society. It generally comes back to the premise of if you have a really good sound economy and a society and people have wealth, like there is just everyone's like, no, it's not because of money. Yes, it is. Like if you have no money, you're more likely to go and steal someone's phone because then you have money. Like. It's all due to the society itself. It's not due to the amount of guns, the amount of tasers, the amount of this, the amount of that. We've had civilizations for thousands of years where everyone had knives and weapons and shit, and it was no fucking shit, no problems. But then there's been obviously cases where there have been lots of problems. It comes down to the society itself. It's not to do with the guns. It's not to do. It can work both ways. It just depends on the people in the society. It just depends on how good how good it is. It's not.
Right, what about this? In that interview, I watched a bit of the Elon Musk and Joe Rogan.
Oh, they got this bit wrong, boys. They did get this bit wrong. Elon did get this wrong. Elon got this wrong because the problem is about this whole debate. Look, there is a fine line, guys. Like, I've changed my tune on this because I actually do believe that there is a line with freedom of speech. I do believe that you should be prosecuted and put in jail if you either incite or demand or direct someone else to either assassinate, kill, or try and cause. Look, if it was Allah Akbar, if it was Allah Akbar, if it was Allah Akbar, it's easily you're going to go to jail. If you start inciting suicide bombings in the United Kingdom, you go to jail for that. And if you say, I want you to assassinate someone for this reason, and you do it on pub, I'm not saying that every 12,000 people who went to jail are wrong. I actually don't think that. I think the vast majority shouldn't have gone to jail for what they did. But all I'm saying is that it shouldn't be fucking zero. And it shouldn't be 12,000. It should be a lot less. But they're beating on the drum of there should be complete freedom of speech to say anything you want on the internet. That's like saying you should have complete freedom of speech to go into a town hall and start saying, let's all get together, Allah Akbar, and blow up the fucking House of Parliament. Guy Fawkes was killed for a fucking reason. Like, I know he had a good fucking plan, but he was killed for a reason. He incited the explosion and destruction of the House of Parliament. That's exactly the same thing as going online and saying we should tear down these fucking institutions, we should blow up this, we should destroy that. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm saying 99% of it should not happen, but there is a level and there is a line, and we are human beings, and there is nuance between things, and there has to be a level where we say you can't incite direct violence. I wish we could listen to it.
Yeah, we'll fix it for next time. But basically, just
why is it not
the
working?
Bottom line? Yeah, the bottom line.
Oh no, it's gonna work now. I think I've got you on mute. Let me unmute you.
Why have you muted me, brother?
It just says you're muted. You're muted on your end. You've muted yourself. Unmute. It says dirty work presentation is on mute. You can't unmute someone else's presentation. Unmute yourself.
All right. Presentation audio.
Yeah, we can. You've muted your. We need an AV guy, man. We were supposed
to. I need to learn how to become a plumber.
Wait, turn off the fucking. You've got it on mute, bro.
I can't. Oh, what? Click there. No, it don't work.
It says that you're muted. It says I can't unmute you. It says you can't unmute someone else's presentation. You need to unmute yourself, brother.
Oh god, I don't know.
It's just on the bottom. It has a little mute button. It says turn off microphone.
My mic's not turned off, bro.
Yeah,
it's fucked. It's fucked. We don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll test it.
Hey, what did he say? He said, I watched it anyway. Just go watch it.
The UK is leading. Like, we're arresting more people than anyone else for breach it, you know, for saying stuff online.
I know.
UK's
It's because they enforce it more. But I know that most of it, like 99% of it, is absolute bollocks. But you also have to remember that Russia and China, they lie about their fucking numbers. Like, apparently, if you go on the internet and see what's the most open free country in the world, it's China. Apparently, no, obviously not. Like, there's a line here. I don't agree that 12,000. If you say anything, the thing is, it does have to come down to a judge, and it does have to come down to a judicial system, and it does come down to sometimes the human being who's making the decision will get it wrong. Like, there's going to be times where you say something on the internet or you say something in a public square where the judge just gets it wrong. But that's the problem about everything human beings do. There is a gray area, and sometimes they get it right and sometimes they get it wrong. And like, we just need to make sure it's mostly right. And maybe write a new constitution, maybe a new Bill of Rights that actually defines what is legal to say and what's not legal to say. It can go down the manipulation route and it can be corrupted. But I'm saying, like, there has to be a line, because you can't go around just saying, I believe that. You can't. It's this, I always say the Muslim side, like, when people say suicide bombers and they incite violence against the West, we'll blow the fucking cunts up for that. Like, we've done it before. So, like, I'm saying that if you're in England and you go out and say, I want you to kill Keir Starmer, whether you hate him or not, that has to be enforced on some level, because it has to. Because, like, otherwise you're just going to be in a world where it's a real tough fucking question, obviously. But they went a bit too far on this. I think that Joe Rogan and Elon went a little bit too far on it, being like, oh my god, this is the worst thing ever. It is fucking bad. But there has to be a level, and I think it just comes down to the fucking jurisdiction and the courts, and it comes down to the judges. And I don't like the judges wearing the stupid wig and they have you said this and that. It's just, there's just going to be mistakes made, but
mistakes were made.
I know but I am libertarian. Like, I'm not anarchy, but I'm libertarian, so I do believe in freedom of speech. But
someone in the chat wrote, I live in a town in Suffolk where the Suffolk Strangler was active. My mum bought me a whistle. I said that was not going to hurt him.
Yeah, well, that's actually you buy a whistle and a rape alarm. Okay, that's going to stop him from doing anything, isn't it? No, the thing about this topic is it really stems back to, like, how England, and when we had the parliamentarians and the nationalists, when we had the kings, queens, and monarchs, and they had the parliamentarians, which were two different factions, nationalists and essentially controlled government or parliament. It goes back to all those essentially thousands of years ago, where there was a fight happening between the two, and, like, there was actually never a predominant victor of that war. Even till today, we're still a monarchy technically with no power. So, like, there was never actually a written constitution in the United Kingdom. It's not written law. It's just we go by the things that we believe in the time through a non-written statement. There literally isn't a constitution which defines those things, and that's fucking interesting in itself, because that's why England is going through this crazy swing. It's built on common British law, and that's a lot of other countries. It's crazy if you really look into it. Like, we have common British law, which can change, and it's not written in constitution. And you even see other places in the world, like DIFC in Dubai, which operate under the premise of common British law that still changes. And you're thinking to yourself, fuck, like, this is actually really unstable. America's more stable because we went there and colonized it and then created the rules, which they all now stand by. And they don't change it. They never change the constitution. I don't think they ever have. If they have, I don't know. But they've never changed the constitution. We don't have that in the United Kingdom. And that's probably why, actually, the United Kingdom is great and bad at the same time, because we can change, but
we just got rid of one of our princes, didn't we? We said he's no longer a prince anymore.
Yeah, well, for good reason. He wasn't acting like much of a prince, was he? But actually, to be honest, if you think about history, historically, he probably was acting quite like a fucking prince. An abuse of power, an abuse of this, maybe even rape. Like, there's way worse scenarios of fucking princes, emperors, and lords doing way worse shit than him. But, like, the Nigeria, what was this about?
Yeah, what do you think? Well, there's loads of Christians and stuff just being killed in parts of Africa, and there's some mad stuff happening in Sudan, and Nigeria is talking about specifically here, if they keep allow the killing of Christians, then yeah, America is going to go in and sort them out. It will be fast, vicious, and sweet, just just like the terrorist.
You gotta watch what he does and not listen to what he says. Fuck me.
Fast, vicious, and sweet. Sweet is not like
not the right adjective there, my friend. Fuck you know. No, Trump is such a funny character to be up there, but like I don't know. The problem with this is like the issue is like I don't think America really puts themselves down as an only Christian country. It's not fucking Mecca. It's not you have to be a Muslim to live here. So like, I don't know. It's a little bit of a weird rabbit hole because if you start saying, well, we're now going to defend all Christians all around the world, well, then there's a lot of other fucking Christians who've been prosecuted or there's been a lot of shit happening. So like, it's too far, man. Now you can't. It's like that game Civilization we were playing where we went and like we're trying to infiltrate our religions, and it's like that never really resulted in all blown out war. That just resulted in cultural differences, and maybe you could win the war. It's actually quite interesting, that game, in the fact that like they are two different types of warfare: religious warfare and fucking guns. But I don't know if Trump. I don't know if you can start going in and doing that. It's difficult though.
Yes, man. I think we should wrap up and talk about some of the Bitcoin price. Someone's still asking, are we going to test 100K or... Yeah, I reckon we should do a recap on some of the stuff.
We're getting a little bounce here. I was literally talking about like this is looking a bit sketchy, but we've reclaimed the local low. And I did say at the beginning of the stream, I was like, I do think it will result high, but this doesn't mean anything. This is just one little tiny move on the lower time frames. But now, guys, my thesis is this. I do think we do... I think we retest 100,000 at some point, for sure. But I don't... It's just like the magic source is when. But that's not how you trade. You don't think, oh, it's going to happen now, so I bet on the basis of it happening now. No, you have to just wait. I would buy 92, I'd buy 100K, I would buy 74. That's all you can do. Buy the levels, and that's it. You're very likely going to get a bounce trade, and then use your stop loss to then mitigate the loss if it continues. I still think Bitcoin's in a bull market. We've lost the 200-day, though, so that's... But like I said, the 200-day moving average is important because people miss this like specific detail. If the 200-day moving average is going up, it still means the average of the price is still going up. So you can go below it, right, for a little bit. We reclaimed it. It's when it starts doing that. And then you say, okay, well now, oh shit, is it going to be the role reversal? And then you just flip the fucking chart. You can see how that's what that looks like. The price is coming into the 200-day and failing. When you see the 200-day beginning to arc off, that's when you start saying, oh, now is it acting as support? And then guess what? Flip your chart, and then that's actually the resistance. So I would say 200-day, this is like, okay, in my analysis, I say if we're below the 200-day moving average, we have an increased chance of going into a bear market, but it's two things. It's whether it's aiming up or aiming down. If we're below it and we're aiming down, then it's like higher chance. So I would say 50% is if you're below or below it. Above it, below it or above it is 50%, and which way it's aiming is another fucking 50%. But right now we're still aiming up, so technically the moving average, the average of the market price, is still rising. So I would say that we might just get a little flicker underneath it, or even we went underneath it for fucking ages here, and look, it nearly did it. That was an interesting moment. Like, we smoked this fucking nicotine, but like, you can see how it came round. It almost began, and then we reclaimed it, and then it continued. So that was close. And we were seeing a little bit of resistance, but that's where you're going to get into those scenarios. The 200-day is still firmly up. But I'll buy 100K for sure. I'll buy 92. I'll buy 74. Maybe even buy in the intermediate region there as well. But it's like this. All you're doing in a bull market is you're waiting for a break. Buy trade. Buy trade. Buy trade. You got 3 chances for the price to continue. So then just play that fucking bet. Don't be like, oh, it's broken it. So don't be like, I short now because it's going to go here. What happens if it doesn't? Where was your risk? You're fucked. Like, you're literally fucked. Like, there's nothing you can do. You can't be like, oh, I think we're going to 100K and then short in the middle of a move. You have to wait for the price to either come to the market or it needs to come to you. The price has to come to you. You can't predict the price and then try and bet on it. And if you do and you make a successful trade, there's only a matter of time before you lose everything. And I promise you, you might get it right 10 times in a row, but you'll eventually get fucked. So I'm saying you need to just play the levels. Just buy. We're still in a bull market, so buy the levels on the way down. And then when we do break, so you bought here, you bought here, you bought here, for an example, bounce trade, bounce trade. You may have bought here, right? You're in a long. It goes up to the next resistance, and then it comes over. You can either TP or have that level there, where it's your stop loss, and then you're out of the game anyway. So, what happened there, bro? Did you just... Oh, you did something. Okay. I actually think this is quite sad, to be honest. The vision of what Bitcoin was and could be basically completely gone now. Well, that's not true. Given away to government and institutional ownership, KYC exchanges, etc.
He's quote tweeting this, by the way. 17 years after the white paper, the Bitcoin network is still operational and more resilient than ever. Bitcoin never shuts down. The Senate Democrats could learn something from that. Talking about the government shutdown.
Really, honestly, this whole Bitcoin debate for years has actually been way more political than people think. I've always said that if you buy Bitcoin, you're a free market capitalist, and that's the truth. But like, I would say that, where's that chart I've got? We've actually got it built into our ecosystem now. So if you go here, and you go to, let me find it for you guys. Not bot setup, sorry. It's under whichever one I've put it in. You can actually track the amount of Bitcoin owned by institutions, and I can't even remember where it is. It's in here somewhere. I think it's in like bot calls or some shit. Or maybe it's in the actual platform. Yeah, one sec. Let me actually fucking get it up for you. So you go traders groups, and you go to Bitcoin, and you can see here that this tells you exactly the amount of Bitcoin under institutional ownership. And the percentage right now, we've got total Bitcoin, 3.7 million Bitcoin is owned by ETFs, private companies, basically institutions, even countries. This is even taking into account countries. So the percentage is still very, very small. It's still 15%. So I think that's absolutely fine. Guys, like, if we were at 50% owned by institutions, then you're probably going to be at a point where actually this is quite corruptible or even controlled. And that's exactly what happened to the US dollar standard with gold. Gold and silver used to be the money for the people because the people owned gold and silver. But then governments all around the world now own 95% of the gold supply, which then makes it more difficult to act as a people's money. You know, in the future, this might be something to think about and defend. We don't want it to go to 50, 30, maybe 70% institutional ownership, because that could then lead to derivatives created on the basis of Bitcoin reserves, where they say, okay, well, we've got 5,000 Bitcoin. We've got these Bitcoin tokens that are the same as Bitcoin, which you can use. And then they might say, oh, we've actually made 6,000 by mistake, but we've only got 5,000 reserves. That's literally exactly the same as the amount of gold in American safes in Fort Knox and Brinks. Brinks is in London, Fort Knox is in America. What they literally did in the Federal Reserve is they printed more dollars, piece of paper, to represent that gold. That's why Nixon came off the gold standard. Not because he was a great human being and a nice guy. It's because the US government printed more dollars than they had gold reserves. And when France and Germany said they literally rolled in a ship, I don't know if you look at the history, France and a few European countries sent a ship, a military vessel, and said, we want you to give us the gold. And Nixon said, we ain't got it. So they had, say France, for instance, they have $1 billion worth of, they have $1 billion in paper, and they went back to America and said, I want to change the dollars for the gold. And America were like, we actually don't have enough to give you. So they took off the gold standard. And then fucking France and Germany sailed their little fucking vessel back and said, okay, nothing we can do. Because America won us the Second World War, so we couldn't go to war with America. And they should have, technically speaking. That would have been the premise to go for a war. But there was no way of happening that. For geopolitical connections and everything which happened in the Second World War, there was never going to be a war against France and Europe against America. And that could have happened, you know. Like, if there was more determined politicians in France, they would have said, well, they just stole all of our fucking money. But then what happened is America invited all of the Europeans over and said, we're going to create an amazing system called the Bretton Woods system. And look, you ain't got your gold anymore, but the dollars basically represent gold anyway. So we'll just subsidize you with more dollars and you can still use it as gold. And that's basically how we got here. I don't know where that even went, that whole rabbit hole, but I'm saying, like, basically, if this gets to fucking 10 million Bitcoin owned by institutions, there might be a road for those institutions to start doing what America did to Europe. The way it's going to be more difficult is that because Bitcoin is more auditable and more transparent, and we can see it happening in real time, the probability of that happening is less because we can call it out. But the problem is that after the Second World War, and when England basically gave all the gold to America to win that war, we had to pay America to win the war. They didn't do it for free. We paid the fucking bastards. They took all that gold and then they essentially did fraud. They took the gold and they gave us dollars, but they printed more dollars than they had gold. So that's why Nixon said no. But I'm just saying that process would be more difficult with Bitcoin because it's an open ledger. So we can always see how much Bitcoin is in the reserves of institutions. So if they start doing it, we go, whoa. And we might be able to call it out faster and potentially regulate it out. Well, it could happen though. Yeah, the point you're making could happen, but 15%, I think that's more than healthy because institutions do a good job in a lot of cases. Like think about if you have Bitcoin in your ledger and you go down with like a health problem and you physically cannot, defend your own Bitcoin on your ledger, you would sometimes want to give it to an institution because you want to give them the custodian rights to that Bitcoin. You still own it, but institutions aren't all bad. All these crypto dudes who are like fucking beating on the drum of like, it's not your keys, not your crypto. Yes, but no at the same time, because you should have some Bitcoin. It's like this. Back in the day, people used to have own gold. They had their gold coins, but they had some gold in the bank because it weighed a lot. You couldn't have it all, then it might get stolen. So I'd say have some on your ledger, have some in some institutions. They're going to give you a yield as well, but just don't be stupid. Don't have it all on one institution. Don't have it all on your ledger. Don't have it all on an exchange. You just want to make a decision on how much you want in different spots. Anyway.
Where do you keep all your Bitcoin?
I keep it up my ass in my ledger. I've got about probably it's probably a diverse range. So yeah, decent percentage on ledger, decent percentage in exchanges, decent percentage in other wallets, and decent on some institutions. It's the best way. Like you do it with banking, you even do it with cash. Like you have your wallet with your cash in it, don't you? But then you have your bank, and then you have your fucking ETFs, and you have your ISA. Apparently they're going to change all those rules in England soon as well, where you used to have 20,000. You could have £20,000 in an ISA with a bank, which is tax free. Apparently, Labour are going to make that £4,000. So they're going to literally take from the £20,000 bracket of middle class individuals and just scoop 16,000 of it and say on that 16k you got to pay tax on it. It's fucking crazy.
They've been trying. They're on their whole kind of run and their campaign run and stuff like that. They were saying they wouldn't be raising taxes for.
Mate, the rabbit hole of this one is just like, honestly, Starmer, I don't know how he could have had a bad run. He's trying to enforce more ID.
Yeah.
It's just mental. He literally didn't tax any of the wealthy because they all left. Because we all fucking left. He's now making it so you have to pay more tax on your ISAs. You got to pay more VAT on a company. So it used to be £90,000 a year you could earn as a small business in the UK and pay no VAT. And guess what? VAT is a lot. I paid it when I had my English company. It can be ranging from, because then you have your VAT for Europe, you have VAT for America, you have VAT for Britain, and it's all different. And then you have to have a whole team to do that. Okay. There are other companies like Stripe that will do it for you, but they'll take a fee for it. So it costs money for the business. So £90,000 used to be, if you earn 90k, you pay no VAT. Happy fucking days. That's middle class income. Depending on, 90 grand, maybe half it goes to the employees, and then you keep your fucking 45. Now it's going to £30,000. So that means that anything you make over 30k in your tiny little business, guess what? £30,000 is like £2,000 a month for the business. £2,500 a month for the whole business. And then they want to take the VAT on top of it. It's literally like Starmer, in a very sneakative way, has taxed more of the lower and middle class than there is even possible. And also, I heard another thing about this is not from me, this is from a guy I know in real estate. He said that in real estate, as a private landlord, you used to be able to write off your tax burden by your mortgage payments as well as your income or something. I don't know the exact numbers. I'm not in real estate in England. But now what they do is they tax you on the transaction value, not taking away the mortgage payments. So essentially what happens is now you get taxed on the amount of transactions you do, not on the amount of profit, which is literally... Okay, if you have a company, say Visa or MasterCard, and they do $1 billion worth of transactions, they don't get taxed 20% on the transactions. They get taxed 20% on how much money they made from the $1 billion of volume. You don't tax them on the volume, you tax them on how much profit from that volume. Obviously, companies should pay tax on their profit because that's money they have spare. That's not the case in England anymore. You pay, if you're doing transactions, say someone's paying you £5,000 a month, and then your mortgage on that is a certain amount, they don't take away the mortgage. That's not a cost to you anymore. They take it from the full 5,000, which again, I don't know how that even makes sense. I don't know how you could tax a company on its revenue, not its profit. I genuinely believe that's actually like communism. That's communism. They don't tax you on how much you make as an individual. They tax you on your volume of business transactions you have, which I've never seen. I don't even understand how that even got passed. That's fucking mental. That's like me making $1 million in a year. They're like, we want 200 grand, even though I didn't make any money. So you could have a company that has $1 million revenue, and then you make no money because you invested all the money back to the business, but they still want 200K. That will take you 5 years, and you're done. I just don't get it, man. You know those guys who say it's like a coordinated attack on the United Kingdom, and there's like some sort of like deep state or like some sort of deep dark entity with tentacles trying to kill in England because then it benefits them somehow. It's like, I don't really believe in that, but I would say that it looks pretty like if you were going to try and do that, these would be the things that you would do. It's unbelievable. I need to actually look at it again because I want to buy my parents a house in England one day, but I have this big argument all the time, not argument really, debate, where I'm like, I just can't do it. It's like, oh, let's just do it. I just can't do it. I'll just get wrecked. They'll end up taking it from me at some point. And also the KYC they want a urine sample probably. I'll have to go to England into Starmer's fucking government office and piss in a bucket if I want to buy a house. Bro, I'm a libertarian, motherfucker. Like, get the fuck out of my piss.
Yeah, they don't want to touch my piss.
Bro, I know about that.
You don't want to go anywhere near that.
It's red.
Yeah, what? No, it's not red, man.
It's purple.
It's pretty strong stuff, you know?
My new stance is that Bitcoin government invented. No. Read the white paper, and I promise you, I actually don't think it's Adam Back anymore. I went off Adam Back recently. It can't be him. But it could be. It could be, but I don't think it is anymore. But if you read the white paper, it's very unlikely. I actually had a debate with someone the other day. He was like, as soon as Satoshi moves his Bitcoin's going to go to zero. And I was like, it's not going to go to zero. Because you have to remember that when Satoshi moves his Bitcoin, and it will happen forcefully or not, because quantum computers will break the cryptography that those Bitcoin are in. So the wallet, there's a wallet, Pete, which has like 1 million Bitcoin in it. And it's from the Genesis block. And Satoshi Nakamoto, which is the alias for the guy who created Bitcoin, there's a wallet which has 1 million, I think it's 1,100,000 Bitcoin in it. And a lot of people say, oh, he must be dead because he's never moved the Bitcoin. The funny thing is that Bitcoin is going to move because a quantum computer will break that cryptography at some point. So my argument to him saying it will go to zero was that actually, if the Bitcoin did move, it would probably take years to sell it because there's because obviously you have to go to an exchange. You have to if they want to sell it anyway. Why would they want to sell it for US dollars? Maybe they do. Okay, let's just say they want to sell it for US dollars. You can't just do that instantly. Where are the dollars? So like they've got to move that Bitcoin onto exchanges. Firstly, if an exchange sees 1 million Bitcoin hit their fucking database, they're gonna go, whoa. Let's fucking stop that. Sorry, 1 million Bitcoin, sir. They won't even, because if they went and said if they tried to market sell 1 million Bitcoin, the exchange wouldn't just be liquidated, it would probably go into hell. Just like the whole entire institution would just crumble into the ground. So like, they can't even sell it. The guy who has 1 million Bitcoin, whoever it is, Satoshi Nakamoto, they wouldn't even be able to sell that Bitcoin for years and years and years and years and years. And probably what would happen is any Bitcoin that came from that wallet, it would probably get stopped by the exchange. I wouldn't agree with that because I believe in free market principles, but it would happen. Like, it would happen. Like, if $1 trillion turned up in someone's bank, JP Morgan are going to say, sorry, you've got more money than us. What? Why did you put it in the bank? So there's no way for them to sell it. The one way they could do it, though, is they could go OTC, but no one's got that money. So it's more than the richest man in the world. So, like, there's no one's even got that money. And also, the OTC desk is by an institution. Everyone's like, it's going to go to zero. I don't think it's even possible to do it. So if they leak it back into circulating supply, I'd be happy about it. Yeah, I'd be happy. The price will go down, but then you get a better price, and then eventually circulating supply comes back. There'll be a dip though. As soon as one Bitcoin moves from that wallet, you'll probably see the price of Bitcoin will probably go down 20%, just because everyone will be like, "Oh shit," and just sell. Market smash.
Market smash. Right, I need to go and walk my dog, but
yeah, bro.
I feel like we've been on for a long time.
It's 2 hours.
Last bit of advice here: how to become rich.
When does it say that, bro? Oh, yeah. On the screen.
Always take good morning back.
Yeah, that's actually paying. Let's leave it on that note. There's one other guy here who said, the problem with increased GDP doesn't really matter for the worker class. Corporations are making record money, still paying shit unless every year. It's a big fucking thing. I just disagree, man, in terms of increased GDP means the gross domestic product of the society goes up, which means that everyone benefits. Because the working class have more access to more tools that can create other incomes. Anyway, that's a long fucking topic, but we'll leave it there.
We'll have you on next week, Chet Rodell.
Yeah, we should, mate, honestly, bro, we should do this. I'm not joking. We should
let's invite someone on.
I'm going to do it right now. Fuck it. I'm going to get the link to this and see how many people try and join. Let's just quickly do that. Let me get the link to this. Can you get it for me? Because I put it in I put it on TG. Can you send it to on TG so I don't have to go on my Telegram?
Yeah, I've got the link.
Send me just put it in the live chat. Put it in the live chat.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to do this and see what happens. So we're going to put the...
I'll stick around for five minutes. How do I get it in there?
I need a drink. Let me get a drink of water for this. It's going to be hilarious.
Yeah, you're in control of the Google meeting, though, so you have to let them in. Let's get in here. Coming in. Who's coming in? All right, the link is there, legends. You're welcome to join.
Nobody joins.
Yeah, I've stuck it in the chat. We'll see if someone comes in.
Here we go. Oh, it's Mike C. It's Mike C. It's Mike C. Mikey boy, Mikey boy, Mikey boy, Mikey boy, Mikey boy, Mikey boy.
Madness.
Can you hear me, mate? Mike? Oh no, something's happened. What happened?
He's muted.
I'm not muted. Here we go. You should hear me now.
How are you, brother?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good.
What do you think about having sex with porn robots in the future? Great response.
He's up for it. I can just tell he's down for it.
I think something's going on with this whole thing. Like,
I reckon it's a VPN or something. We can't hear him. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. Mike's in England as well.
Yeah, that's weird.
I think let's just wait to see what happens. What? Mute Mike C. No, don't do that. It's got stage fright.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to join? Mate, I think we should do at the end of each stream. We should just get randomers in and just chat about stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of strong opinions in the chat sometimes about.
I think that content could be hilarious as well. It's kind of like, like Jimmy Carr when he does like heckles.
Yeah, I'd love to come on and roast us.
Yeah, guys, come and roast us. Like, don't be fucking pussies. Come on.
I'll probably have to.
No, stick around for 5 minutes, mate. I want to get a couple gonads in the chat. I need some backup. I might get roasted myself. Help.
It's really weird. I can't watch the stream at the same time as speaking on air because of the delay.
Yeah. You have to get rid of that.
Guys, just so you know, Mike C is the biggest OG ever known in the MDX community. He's been with us since 2020 or something. Maybe even longer.
Yeah, I've been here since the start. Since you all started.
Yeah, you see.
What do you think about England, man? What's your synopsis? That's the wrong word. What do you think about England?
England's a mess. I think we all know it. It's just an absolute catastrophe at the moment with what's going on. It's farcical. I just can't believe that it's just going on, and it's just people are getting away with it. It's just
well, we were saying earlier we want to see 600,000 illegals. You know,
we
fucking
need
deployed.
robot guards, and we need robot policemen, and we need robot.
I just don't know why people. I just don't know why people aren't just like, okay, if there's 600,000 illegal people in the country, why that would be an issue? Why would that be racist? It's like if you go and steal someone's car, and let's just say you're poor and you're homeless, you don't go, oh well, you know, you're poor and you're homeless, so it's okay that you stole their car. You go, no, regardless of your situation, you got to fucking leave. It's illegal, or you got to go to jail. So like, it's exactly the same as like people coming into the country illegally. You shouldn't go, oh well, you know, you came from a poor country and you don't do this, you don't do that. You haven't got all of these. You haven't got all the privileges. No, like you can't use what their situation is to say, well, now you can do things illegal. Otherwise, you live in a society where apparently things that are illegal are only subjected to people that aren't not privileged. It's just ridiculous. Like, no, if you're illegal, you're fucking illegal, regardless of where you came from.
Yeah.
Like any other situation. But they're trying to use racism and privilege to say, well, they came from unprivileged background. They are black. They are Indian. They are Pakistan. Whatever it is. Like, who cares? Like, I don't give a fuck. You're still in the country illegally, so you should not be in the country. And like any other law-abiding citizen has to go through. Whether you
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, I swear
illegal.
that's just like fucking. I can't believe I didn't even know the numbers, to be honest. I didn't know it was 600,000 people illegal in England. That's the whole of Bristol, but none of them have, none of them are legal in the country. Like, that is absolutely astounding, if that's true.
I just think it'll be all right in the end. Don't worry about it.
Pete, that's the kind of
we were
attitude.
speaking about it earlier, though. You need legal immigration. Legal immigration is fine, but if you're in here illegally, get the hell out.
Also, no, this is a good topic, and I won't mention any names, but someone said it should be zero immigration. And I was like, no. That's even more ridiculous. Like, we should have immigration because, like, countries all around the world have different pools of talent. Like, some people in China are better at some things than people are in England, and some people in America are better at some things in France. Yeah. So, like, you have to have an economy where you say, for instance, there's 250,000 registered UK traders in England. That's the highest per capita in any country. So, financial traders, there is fuckloads of them in England. They get exported out. So, like, because people in another country would like to tap into that knowledge pool. So they say, you can come as an immigrant or a migrant into our country and work in our companies. So I do believe there should be immigration, because otherwise, if you have a proper vetted system where you say, what can you provide, what can you bring, what company are you going to work for, and who are you going to bring, like your family, that's great for companies, though, because guess what? If you want to set up a Japanese restaurant in London, you very likely need Japanese people. Because if you go to Japan, they've got the best Japanese. If you go to the best Japanese restaurant in the world, it's Japanese people. Obviously, they fucking live in Japan. It's like going to a Chinese restaurant and they're all fucking from Birmingham. It's not going to be as good. You need to have Indians coming in, Japanese coming in, French coming in, especially for the restaurant industry, because like everybody knows that if you go to fucking Italy, the Italians make the best fucking pizza. So if we have zero immigration, that means we can't compete on any level in London with the restaurants in fucking Milan. So you have to have you have to have an open level. Especially, I made the joke earlier. I was like, well, we all know Chinese people are good at mathematics. Like, I don't want to employ just fucking English people. I don't know what it is about English people. Most of them are shit at maths. But for some reason, if you go and fucking import an incredible fucking science whiz from China, they're pretty good with fucking numbers. So all you need is this: logical, reasonable, good immigration, so we can take talent from all the other pools of talent around the world, and then we can put them into our companies in England. They then live in England legally, pay their taxes, have a great job, have a great fucking life, and then it's just relaxed. But the zero immigration thing is now what the right are doing. So this is probably the next big problem. The right are probably going to go too right, and that's actually going to have negative effects. That's going to take 10 years. The left at the moment, they've gone too far. Everyone's like, fuck you, we can't deal with this anymore. What's probably going to happen is now you're going to get too much nationalism, and you're going to get way too hard regulations. And they'll be like, no fucking immigration. And then we're going to be stuck with just a fucking small gene pool of dudes from London who don't care. And also, remember as well, emerging economies, those people will work for less, and sometimes that's good for companies, especially in manufacturing and stuff like that, because a lot of English people don't want to do the job. So we want to import, we want to have new people coming in through a vetted system, which is positive. Does that make sense, legends? I'm fucking MDX fucking Parliament. Illegal migrants get £3,000 bribes to return home, then boost how easy it is to sneak back in.
Boast.
The thing is, though, about this, apparently in America, the average cost to deport someone was $10,000. So what they do is, in America, they go to them and say, we're going to give you $2,000 and you can leave in a decent way. We're not going to put you in jail. You're just going to leave. We're going to give you $2,000 so you've got your flight. Because the enforced route of getting someone out is like 10 grand. So essentially they're saving 8K. So I think it makes massive sense. And also 1.8 million people apparently left America in a voluntary fashion. So I think we should do that. Go to all of the fucking illegal migrants in England and say, look, we're going to pay a price for this. We bailed out the fucking banks in 2008.
We already do, don't we?
Yeah, we already pay some. But we bailed out the fucking banks in 2008. We can bail out these little fuckers and say, look, you're here illegally, but we're not dickheads. We're actually nice. We're English. We're not going to put you in jail. Here's $2,000. Now get out. If you say no, then we'll have to pay 10, but it's going to be a little bit more of a difficult situation for you. And I think that's fucking fair. I genuinely don't even think that's unfair. Like, you're literally giving them money to leave. Like, I think it's a fucking good thing. Like, we can all pay. I think, what is it, Pete? You told me $7 billion or some shit for these legals.
Yeah, I can't remember any figures off the top of my head. What I do know is, we had that guy that they released from jail who'd like done some sort of sexual offense or something against a minor, and then they accidentally said you're free to go and let him out and for the weekend.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
Police were chasing him for ages, and yeah, and then we ended up giving him 500 quid to make sure he didn't kick off while we tried to get him on a plane to get him out of the country.
It's scary to think that, you know, like Trump's like not that good with words, but what he does is quite good. And he's like, we're the common sense party. It's crazy to think that that's actually kind of true. Like, it's like common sense is gone, and it's mental to think that we're in this situation. Like, people can't even be like, people are so scared of being called racist or like against a certain minority. They're so scared to be called any fucking name that they would rather have 600,000 people illegal in the country than just say, look, guys, we're just going to say common sense. You're illegal, so $2,000 to get out. You can apply to come back in, but $2,000 to get out. And they're like, oh, that's bad. It doesn't make any fucking sense. What you can...
Common sense went a long time ago. It's very few and far between now. We're a dying
When's it coming
breed.
back, though? Is it Farage, bro? Like, I don't even live in England anymore. Do you think
so.
Farage will get in? I think he's going to get in, probably.
I think he will. The thing is, these days, everything has to be done by a script. Nobody can think for themselves now. And the thing about paying for these illegal immigrants to go back, yeah, that's a good idea, really, because it's going to cost us a lot more to keep them here. But you need to take away the thing that's attracting them to come over here in the first place. Get rid of that first.
Yeah, incentives.
Our women.
Mate, honestly, like we need to make the women less attractive because they're just coming to try and bang our chicks. We need more Mackie D's. We should start popping Mackie D's on every fucking corner. And by the way, guys, if you're not from England, the women pool isn't great anymore. It's gone downhill a little bit. You got a lot of like fat, like short haired. You know,
right.
It's no, not right. No. Keep your wokeism away. I'm staying on with Mike for a bit. Me and Mike are staying on. You can fuck off, Mr. Woke.
All right, see you later. I'll see you next Monday.
I'll do 5 more. Oh, here we go. I'll do 5 more questions and then we'll bounce. I like having Mike C in the building, mate. You're on the stream, bro.
Yeah, I know. I just have to. It's a bit weird though because of the delay. I just have to turn the stream down and just speak on this one. But yeah, it's all good. Good to be here.
We were saying earlier how we think Farage would win tomorrow if there was an election, but he has to keep the kind of ball rolling for a long time, which might be difficult for him to do.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, but I think he's got a damn good chance of doing it. But I also think his right-hand man is really good. I love listening to him speak, watching his videos.
Oh, what is that? He looks like he's from India descent, but he's not.
I never remember his name, but he just sounds so good when he's speaking, and he makes just complete sense. of everything.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
debates that he has
Well,
online.
he just says it straight, doesn't he? He just
rips
goes,
people apart. Rips
Yeah.
people apart.
I genuinely believe that people are so sick to death, and I think Trump really pioneered this in terms of like, you know, he might not say the most politically correct thing, but what he does and what you see him do is like, wow, actually you're doing shit which is good. But you might say, like, you know, he's a bit of a locker room kind of chatty. He says a lot of stupid shit. But I think actually in the reality of the world, like we all do you know what I mean? We all say kind of funny, stupid shit. Like, we're not all perfect like these politically correct weirdos who are in our government anyway. Like, I wouldn't want to hang out with any of these people where it's like you say something which is slightly off. Like, I'm sorry, actually. It's like, you know, the know-it-all at school. You're like, just no. Like, I do think that guy you're talking about, what's his name? Yusuf.
Yusuf. Pete's got it. Pete Williams.
Yeah, he's it's quite ironic as well how he is black, but like it's obviously he's from English descent and he's been in England for many years. But like, and this actually it's funny as well to see someone who looks like obviously they wouldn't be originally like from England, because actually the funny thing is it makes you realize that none of this is about racism. It's all just about what's right and what's wrong. And if you come to England 40 years ago as a black person, you can become completely British. And I said this about Brownski, one of my best friends, who has a descent many years, maybe even 50, 60 years ago, from Jamaica. But he's more British than me, motherfucker. He's the one going down to Crystal Palace and buying the pints and getting the shirts and, you all right, mate, what's going on? Like, the funny thing is that all of this whole thing, backlash, is about racism. But it's like, no, it doesn't matter what color fucking skin you are. Like, half of London was built by Romans like fucking 2,000 years ago. It doesn't matter what color skin you are. It matters, are you a part of the country? And that's what people want. It's I think there's a good quote about it where it's like, as soon as someone opens their mouth and you hear what they say, it's like they reveal who they are. And that's what this is about. It's about what you say. It's not what you look like. It's not how you present yourself. It's just what you fucking say. I swear that this makes sense.
Yeah, it's really true. Absolutely true.
Bring the Crusaders back. Fucking hell.
Yeah, Zaya Yusuf, though, is just amazing. You watch his videos, watch him when he's having debates with people. And normally when you watch politicians and they're having debates with everybody, the opposition normally has a good comeback. When this guy speaks, he speaks so clearly and it makes such sense that the opposition just sat there with their gobs open just going, I haven't actually got a response for that, because he absolutely nailed on the head, and he's not afraid to say it as well. Like most politicians ask questions and they just like go around the question. They never give you the right answer.
They haven't got an answer because they're used to.
They do.
They haven't got an answer because they're used to like some sort of little like political battle where they're like trying to like give themselves like the look of they're trying to look virtuous because they know that their career is based on it, but like because they need to look good to increase their career in politics. But like these people, like for instance Farage, who I think was a commodity traders in London. I don't know how long, but I think he was a commodity traders in the 80s. And this guy, I don't know his actual background. I don't know if he's just straight politics, but they seem like they come from a place where they don't actually care about the politics. They kind of care about what they can do with politics, if you know what I mean. So it's like there's two different class. There's like people who they want to become a politician and use politics to become something, but then you have people who want to use politics to change something, if you know what I'm trying to say. So it's like that's the kind of that's the perspective I get. They're not politicians. They're just like, we want to use the system to get what we want for the people. But a lot of people in politics, they're not like that. They're trying to their whole game is to be the politician and like grow as that thing. Like they want to be that thing, but they don't. They just want to use the thing to get what they want. Yeah, which I really like.
We need to change at the end of the day. We've had so many years of Conservatives. We've had so many years of Labour. They're both screwed up. It's just time for some change. And what harm can it do? I mean, exactly. It can't get any worse at this point. Get reform in there. Give Farage a go.
Give them like, why not? Like it's like if you have, it's like that saying which says if you continues to do the same thing over and over again and you don't make any changes, it's essentially you're an idiot. Like I think it's fucking Albert Einstein. I can't remember the exact quote. It's like if you do the same thing over and over again without changing, you're essentially an idiot. And I think that's basically what English people feel like. Like we just feel like idiots for just voting them in every single time. And it's like even if Farage isn't the perfect person, it's so bad right now. Why not? I think that's exactly why people vote for Trump as well. Actually, I think it's like you look to the opposition, you're just like. And the funny thing about Trump is like I think that's how I first saw it. I thought, fuck it, just put him in anyway. I can't vote, but if I was an American, I don't want Clinton, I don't want fucking Biden, all these fucking people, all these like old traditional people. It's just like, why not give him a go? But the funny thing about Trump, I think genuinely he's outperformed people's expectations because
without doubt.
yeah, because he just does things. But like I said, I always have stood on this ground. You just don't listen to what he says. You watch what he does, and like the thing is, I think that goes with everything in life, though. Do you know what I mean? Like as soon as you start putting words before actions, I think actually you become just a shit society. I think it has to come down, and the issue is like sometimes it's hard to see that because people are little listeners, aren't they? Oh yeah, he said something wrong. Let's get him for it. But like.
Trump's Marmite with a lot of people, but the stuff that and some of the, I mean, you listen to him, you watch him in his interviews or whatever, and you just literally just have to bite your knuckles because it's just hilarious some of the things he says.
Yeah,
but
it is ridiculous.
The guy has got balls. Everybody else is just too scared to do anything, including this country in the UK, and they're all saying, Farage is saying everything that Trump's saying, but because quite a lot of the stuff, in my opinion, it makes sense. Trump
Well, it worked. He got in with a massive majority. He won the fucking election hands down. So like,
we're just going to get trampled if we just carry on what we're doing now. We are in an absolutely catastrophic trajectory at the moment. It is just ridiculous where we're going, and it just needs to change. It really does need to change. Yes, Peter,
I genuinely believe he should just get I think he should get the army back. I know I don't want martial law or anything, but I think you need to England was built on the premise of defending our shores, and that's how we had so much prosperity because we had this like very easy island to defend with our armies. Like it was just difficult to invade. Obviously, we did get invaded over and over again, but I'm saying like it was easier to dictate our own nation because we had this big sea around us. It's almost just like, why don't we just do that again? Like just bring the army back, whack them on the fucking shoreline. And just stop illegal people coming in for first. Like, let's just do that. Even if we can't let fucking thousands of random people we don't know in. Do that first. And I actually think that might create a sense of nation again on some level. Just being able to, like, just defend our borders again like that, I think. And everyone was like, oh, no, you're so racist. It's like, well, it's not about it's not about your color of your skin. It's literally like, are you illegal? And do you want to actually provide something to this country? And I actually laugh, why are people even coming? Like, it's not that good.
The protection is already there. The protection is already there. They're just being told to let them in, though. That's the issue.
It's because of all those loopholes, isn't it? I think that guy you spoke to, Youssef, was saying that because we're a part of so many, like, which are good things during wartime, like humanitarian concepts, and we have all these ties and this, like, Rwanda, I don't know what it is. There's loads of names for all these, like, European policies that we've, like, signed up to that give people the right to some level to seek asylum, which is fucking fine. But it's like this. It's like this. If you give someone an inch, they'll try and take a mile, and that's basically what's happened. It's like we've been very generous as a nation to say if you actually have legitimate problems, you can come here. Like we ain't got that many problems, maybe comparison to you, so you can come here and you can settle here under the right circumstances. But now what's happened is because people have seen that work, maybe now they're just exploiting the system. And they're just like, let's just go because we're going to get in, like, even if we haven't got a problem. And that's actually immoral on their side. Like, that's not us being immoral and being horrible and racist. That's them being a fucking problem. That's not moral on their part. If you come to the country and throw your fucking passport in the sea and you don't actually have any proper issues in your own nation, you probably could be all right. And a lot of them go on holiday back to their own fucking countries, I've heard. Don't know if it's 100% true, but maybe. But if you're doing that, you're the fucking bad person, not the people who are actually making systems to help you, but then you exploit the thing. It's it's crazy, man. It's a crazy situation. But I hopefully they can get in, man. I don't know if anyone in the chat who's from England in the chat, put an English flag in the chat if you're from England. British flag, United Kingdom flag, Georgian flag. We're not racist here. Don't worry about the Georgian flag. It's from England.
I just don't know whether we can actually just carry on the way that we're going now until 2027, until the next election. Something has to happen before that time because we're just going to be in pieces, absolute pieces.
I know. It's annoying how we, like, the thing about Trump and everything there, the timing. Well, I think Elon said it in a podcast recently. He said that he said I think he said when Trump, for the last election, he was in the runnings for winning it, Elon said that if he doesn't win this, it might be the last like true democratic election, because obviously the Democrats were letting in so many new people and essentially bribing them to vote for them, that there would have been a real issue where like all these illegal migrants who don't need ID and everyone can vote, they were all going to vote for Democrats because they let them in. And they were never going to vote for Trump because he was trying to get rid of them. He was saying that if there was like a escape velocity moment where enough illegals came in, then there wouldn't even be a chance that Trump could win or any other parliament, because they would just always vote Democrat, or maybe in the foreseeable future. It's almost like that little situation, they just got away with it, if that's correct, what Elon said. But maybe with England, the problem is we did lose that. Well, we didn't lose. He wasn't really empowered. He didn't even try that hard. He couldn't win the last one. But hopefully it's not, but it could be the situation there where, like, you know, if another 2 years go by and we see another 100,000, 200,000, maybe more, and I'm talking illegals, normal migration might be 1 million. Oxford came out and said 1.2 million 2024. Whatever we get 2025, and then another year, and maybe even another one, you might be looking at another 1 million people. And whether they're illegal or not, they're going to vote in Labour because they let them in, and then they're not going to vote for Farage, obviously, because he's trying to get them out. So, like, hopefully the escape velocity moment hasn't happened, where in the next 3 years or so, or maybe 2-3 years, whatever it is, hopefully we don't get to the point where so many illegals come in and so many migrants come in who will just vote for me. I don't know how it really works, though, so I don't know if they can. Like, they have to be a citizen in England, obviously. I think that's different in some states in America. But I'm just hoping that situation doesn't happen. The Elon Musk situation of there won't be really a democracy anymore happens in England, where actually Farage could never get in because it's just not enough people to vote for him.
This is bad. Mickey's right, actually. Mickey's absolutely bang on. It's 2020. It's 2029. So the UK general election must be held no later than the 15th of August, 2029. Oh my God.
Long time. Very long time. No, it's a long time. It really is. It's that's like, mental. It's, you know, you can really see, like, obviously living in the crypto land the last 10 years, fucking hell. But even traditional markets, even like geopolitical ideas, there could be leaders who die all around the world in that time as well. Like, I think Xi Jinping's, I don't know, there's loads of, there's like Taiwan's another thing. So, like, that's a long time.
That's festering.
Yeah. Well, he's come out, hasn't he, and said, we're going to do something soon before I die. I just don't know, man. I obviously, it's just, you just have to, like, I don't know why they're not just doing it now. Just, like, stop thousands of people coming in and try and make sure that people who come are not illegal. And, like, why aren't they doing that? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Portugal got 1 million new migrants since woke policies. Fucking hell. And to be honest, Portugal, in its history, and Spain have usually fought a war. This is not against Muslims today, but there was the fight between the Muslims and the Christians. That was literally it. Like, that was the movement of Muslims coming in through, you could call it modern day Morocco, and that northern area of Africa. Yeah, they were moving up that way. So now they've let 1 million of them in. It could be, and then there's the whole problem with the whole like ideology of you know, and this is like, again, literally numbers that have come out where the average Muslim person in the United Kingdom, woman, has an average of 3 children, and the average British woman has an average of 2.
Yeah.
So if you go by those numbers and you do actually, you know, you extrapolate out, that is kind of worrying as well. Not saying, the thing is as well, like, I would actually give the Muslim religion credit for what they're doing. If their job in their Bible is to try and do things like this and spread their religion, which Christians do as well, this is a great fucking tactic. Or fair play to you. It's just whether England want this. And, like, whether it's right or wrong, we can go back a step and say, well, you know, they're just playing a game. Like, they're playing whatever game they're playing, and we're playing whatever game we're playing. Whether it's right or wrong, obviously British people today won't want to be put into the minority. But I'm saying it's not. I can still have quite a lot of respect for the way Muslims operate, and even the whole Mecca thing. They don't let other religions into Mecca, not to disturb their own religion. It's like a national thing. Like, I actually don't disagree with that in a lot of cases. Like, that's actually I actually think that's admirable in some cases. You're defending your religion. Mecca, you're not allowed to come if you're not a Muslim. I don't think that's a bad thing for Muslims. I'm just saying, what does England want? What do we like? What do we want? And I, to be honest, I don't even live in England myself, so I'm actually super impartial. It has to come down to the fact that if English people don't want that, you have to vote for it, and the only person who's going to enforce it is Farage. So it's like that statistical number with the whole birth rate thing. That's inevitable. They're going to have more children who will be a different religion, and they will grow in that society because of I think in their religion it literally says, and don't quote me on this, but I think it says something like, I think Muhammad said, marry other Muslims and have as many children with other Muslims and don't marry other faiths. That's not completely alien to any religion, because Christians do the same thing, with like they go out and you try and like promote the religion. That's not actually an alien thing. I'm just saying, like, does England want that? And if they don't, then they have to vote for something else, because otherwise you're going to get that. You're going to get it because we're not having as many kids. Yeah. Like, that's a crazy vote.
It's going to happen. We warned about it a few years ago, and it's definitely happened now, and the signs are completely obvious. Look around. I mean, it's happening already.
And the funniest thing is, though, is like, I'm so like, I'm not, I obviously have what I believe, but like, you kind of like have to look at it in also like a respectful manner. Like, they're trying to grow their fucking religion, bro, and they're doing a good job. Like, imagine if England, or let's just say London, which was predominantly Christian, had a rule that says only Christians can live here. On a whim of immigration in the society itself, I'd say probably not good. But if you want to defend that religion, that's the ultimate thing you can do. So it's I'm not that guy who thinks that the Muslim religion is actually bad in any way. There's millions and millions of Muslims all around the world. I live in the Middle East myself, so like I know it. Like, they're not inherently bad people. They just have different ideologies, and in their religion, that's fine. They can do what they fucking want, because we're not going out and telling everyone what to do. But I'm just saying, what does England want as a predominant place which is not Muslim? And that's probably not going to be the case. And also, I have a lot of Muslim people and friends who are in Dubai who say, they even laugh at it. They're like, bro, why is your fucking mayor Muslim? I'm like, I don't know, man. It's democracy, isn't it? And like, I just go around that road. But like, even people who are Muslims in this country, in Dubai, say, they're like, what are you doing? Like, what's England doing? I thought, England should be fucking England. A lot of them don't even like it, but and then there's a big divide as well in the Middle East between like the Islamic states and that type of religion, as well as other Muslim religions. And you got to remember as well, like, the Middle East is a completely diverse place. Like, Saudi Arabia is completely different to Iran. UAE is completely different to Qatar. Qatar is completely different to the other Gulf states. Like, it's like saying, just because Ireland and England are close to each other, they're just completely the same. Nah, completely different in loads of different regards. And that's the same as the Middle East. The people get it wrong with the Middle East. Because Saudi Arabia is not a bad country at all. If you look at what they're trying to do, actually, they're really changing. And the new king, I can't remember his name, something, it's always like bin Mohammed, something like that. But he was the son of the kings there. And he's like now allowed women to be able to drive. They're trying to open up their economy. They're trying to build like massive sports events, and they're trying to do loads of different things. And like, they have a massive tie with America as well, like big allies with America, and that's completely... Saudi Arabia, they really don't like Iran. They're like completely... people wouldn't know that. Like, they would think, oh, it's all the fucking same. No, it's not. Saudi Arabia do not like Iran. They're not politically in line with them. Even Qatar to a degree, and then you've got obviously the UAE, which is... we have, again, Sheikh Mohammed bin Saqib, I can't remember his name, but he's the Prime Minister of the UAE and the King of Dubai. And he's along with Khalifa and everything. And they've got a whole different thing as well. Like, they're completely different. So anyway, my point is like, I don't think this is like genuinely to do with like Christians against Muslims. I just don't think that's the actual case. I'm just saying that, like, if England want to stay as what they want to stay as, whatever that is, they need to try and actually change a few things to keep that integrity, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to try and change, but I think the momentum and the way that it's going right now, I think the momentum's too strong. It's already a point of no return, if you ask me, unless all the English people, without being too crude about it, go out and start making babies, lots of them. I think we're going to be struggling to go back on where we're heading right now.
Yeah, it opens up a whole can of worms, man. Because obviously, there's never. I don't think. Well, civil war. It's not impossible. You know, it's not like that's the problem with history. Like you've seen civil war happen a lot.
Yeah, that's the frightening thing. That's just festering away as well. Civil war. That'd just be awful.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, man. Like you could say. Well, I think like people don't realize that the fight for culture is usually much more ingrained in the religion is a big part of it, but I'm saying because culture and religion go hand in hand. But like you've seen definitely civilizations which go through civil war. Culture is such a big part of it. Like you could say that with America against the Brits when they tried to, you know, we were colonizing them, they broke free. You've seen that with all the other Americas from all of their defined countries which sailed over there. You could even say to a degree that, and this is another controversial topic, everyone's like, yeah, whatever, but like you could even say that with like the Nazis and the fucking Jews. Like that's another big cultural problem, and obviously we all know that the Nazis are in the fucking wrong with this, but that's kind of like it was a cultural thing for fucking Hitler. Do you know what I mean? So like this whole thing is a bit dicey, man. It's a bit too close. It's a bit hot, you know.
It's all on the edge. Everything's all on the edge. The whole world is on the edge. The UK is currently cooked, and we're on a really bad trajectory. Simple as that. I mean, there has to be change. There has to be change. It's dodgy situation the world is in right now.
Yeah, this guy makes a good point. Islam is the problem, not Muslims, and I think that's probably right. And like, that is right because that's why Saudi Arabia, which is predominantly Muslim, aren't Islamic in that sense. And people don't really understand that. Like the Saudis are not friends with Iran, nor is the fucking obviously Israel as well, and that's obviously Jews. But you know, it's complex, man. It's like that game Civilization where you there's two wars you can fight, and there's the war of guns, and then there's the war of religion and culture, and you can win the battle without guns. This is the fun. It's actually quite true. Like you can win the war with no war in terms of guns. You can win it by ethnically cleansing, which is obviously a really fucking extreme word, but that's actually what happens sometimes. Like you have new cultures come in, they completely outpopulate, and they essentially over time ethnically cleanse that civilization. And like this is in a game. Like you can do that in a game, but like I'm saying, like this ain't too far away from a game we're playing right now. Like it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. No, absolutely. My missus loves that game, by the way. Civilization.
Bro, it's one of those games where you like you don't play it all the time, but you play it like 3 times a year with your friends, and it goes on for 3 weeks, and then you don't do it anymore. You know, it's like Monopoly. It's like you play it once or twice a year, and you get really into it, and you play it, but then you don't really go and do it again for a while because it's like constantly. It's a big game. You know, you got to think about a lot of shit all the time. The new one's quite good. Me and Pete played it the other day.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right, man. I think we're nearly at 3 hours. So good, bad, Islam poses, Christianity, simple as that. Yeah, I know. But you got to remember subjectively from both sides. Like Christianity, like a lot of religions are like that. A lot of religions hate it. But, you know, Americans do it. You know, Christians in America, like they can get very, very shirty about you not being a Christian, or you know, you can have Muslims who do it. You can have Catholics, and look at our fucking history, like Church of England, Catholics, Protestants, Jews, like they've all fought like over this whole concept. So I'm not, so Muslims and the religion it's a difficult one because there are some, I would say, religions that are maybe more aggressive with it than others, but I don't think I'm just going to stay objective. There's no right and wrong. It's just, what does England want? That's the question. And if you understand the facts, then just make a decision on the facts. I'm going to vote for Farage on the basis of those things. Just like I would like to see England have the values of what England had for the last 500 years. Like, and we might not be able to decide the next 1,000. We might not even be able to decide the next 200. There might be a future for all of us, which is different to what we cannot control. I'm just saying, in my fucking time, I would like to see those types of values in England come back. And that's it. And that's 100%. Not a bad thing to say. Every fucking religion 100%. Says that. Go to Mecca. Like, they're going to fucking say that. Like, yeah, we're trying to defend Muslim values. Like, fine. Of course you can do that. I think England should fight for that.
Yeah, too right. I think England knows what it wants. I think what happened a couple of weeks back in London it's clear what England wants.
Yeah, and they lied about the numbers on that for sure. They said 100,000 people, but I've been to the Bernabeu Stadium.
There's more than that.
I've seen what 100,000 people looks like, and no, the helicopter kept going and kept going. You know, maybe it wasn't 3 million. That was probably over. I think
that's overcooking it, but it was more than 100,000. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I think the majority of England knows exactly what they want to do or what they want in the future.
It'd be nice to get all the videos which are public and put it through an AI generator and like ask it, like, give me a, like, try and calculate it, because I don't know why the media was so, why would they say 100,000? It was obviously not 100,000 fucking people. Like, you had like literally the south and north and all of the bridges were like filled up with people. If you fill one bridge of people, I don't know what it is. I'm not a fucking scientist or whatever, but I just know that 100,000 people in a stadium, I know what that looks like, and I know that what we saw was more than that. Maybe 500, maybe up to 1 million, but I don't think 3.
Yeah.
That was a bit of Tony, what's his name? Tony Robinson or whatever. Can't remember his name.
Yeah. 1 million is probably about right. I'd agree with that. But it was good to see. It was really good to see.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't hear about any fights, any violence, anything like that. And I think that was very good.
But those people, you're never going to stop those people. They've just that mentality. They just go out with that mentality. They want to cause trouble.
Yeah, well, think about this. Like, if you take any statistic and you say 1 in a million, that's how many planes go down. Like, so you're going to get one dude who's going to fucking start a fight. It's 1 in a million. Like, it's difficult to have any coordinated event of any level, of any statistic that doesn't have an anomaly out of 1 million, you know?
It's a numbers game. Funny,
game, brother. Mate, it's been a pleasure having you on, dude.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Enjoyed it. But I'm going to go and eat some food and chill. It's like 10:30 for me.
Yeah,
and
20 to 7 over here.
Yeah, legend, bro. The clocks have moved. All right, legends. We'll see you on the flippers. Hit the like button and yeah, we're about. Let's see what we can do. See you on the